Going live. Going live. We're live. Don't say fuck or bugger. Right, play the theme tune, sing the theme tune. And welcome to Banter Nationalism, CXIV. We're going green. It's the future. We're going to be talking about science.
The future. Do you remember Trevor and Simon?
The future. Oh.
When these do the keys.
Sorry, the theme tune rose to its crescendo when you were talking about John Howard.
Oh, right.
Yes, I do.
No, Simon and was it Thingy and Simon when they talk about the future? Peter and Simon. Do you remember Peter and Simon that used to be on Going Live?
Ah, no, sorry. I do.
Ah, right, but they used to do this thing when they were spooky blokes, they're very spooky, and they used to talk about the future.
The future. The future.
The future.
Yep. So, we're joined in for an exciting special edition of Banter Nationalism, where we'll be doing...
From the future.
From the future. We will do the science of big part sniffing. Oh, I'm sure my audience is going to like this. And what a fun...
Oh yeah, we can sniff farts with the best of them, can't we?
What a jam-packed show we got today. In this
hold on. I've just got to say this. This in from Black Fox on Twitter has said, "Where Eagles Dare, the best war movie ever?" Question mark.
Oh, you know what? I've just started the recording now, so yeah. If you're wondering what the start of this is, it's just me talking about is the theme tune, which I didn't do myself because it's a special edition, and I'm recording this.
But you haven't just started. You've been going for a minute and 42.
I know, but I've just started the recording now, so I'm repeating myself for people that may be watching this in the future, because in the future people will look back at our one and go, "Oh yeah, that was an exciting episode, wasn't it?" So,
oh shit! Yeah, we've got to talk about what Alphabet Z, you know whatever his name is, Alphabet Cat. He says, "Remember when they had a CD player on Tomorrow's World? They said you couldn't scratch them. Do you remember they were putting mud on them and everything and trying to make out you could still play?"
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff in Tomorrow's World which was a bit silly, but Punk Pastana said they eventually tanked Tomorrow's World on purpose by scheduling when Coronation Street was on. But the fact is, well, I mean, yeah, you could.
It was waking people up. It was waking people up to the technocracy.
That's
it.
But
Tomorrow's World red-pilled me because they were like, in the future, they're going to have all these robots and everything's going to be done for you. We're not going to need to do anything. And there was little 8-year-old, was it 1987? So little 11-year-old me going, how are those people going to get money if they don't work?
Yeah. And this is, I mean, the two things coming. I mean, one thing for a start, which really brought my mind. This is wave power, which that's going to come up later. But the first thing I saw this week is, did you know that the blades in wind turbines are made from balsa wood? I didn't know that. So this is it. This is.
Do you know that, Donny? Donny, do you know much about green power?
Not at all.
Wow, this is going to be an eye-opener. I haven't done any bits for Pink News. Oh, maybe I'll do a live read, but I had a lot of fun putting music next to them and doing the silly voices.
Tomcat engaged a reading of
You did some Pink News.
Pink News yesterday.
Oh, I was going to say, what Topcat did was before it's Pink News. So I'm recording this because wow, you know how YouTube is. It's always a bit tenuous. So the idea eventually is these episodes will be archived on Telegram, and you can get on Telegram and you can download the episodes. You can watch them on your phone. You can watch them on your computer. But anyway,
sing along with the theme tune.
Sing along with the theme tune. Download the theme tune. Yeah. So shall we get straight into wind turbine made from illegally harvested balsa wood?
The balsa wood tree's got to be pretty shit, isn't it?
Well, it grows quickly. Ah.
Oh, right. Is that why it's so shit, basically?
Well, I assume if it's fast growing, it's like bread, which, like nimble bread, when they say it's good for you because it's the healthy bread choice, and it's like, how has it got less calories than normal bread? Well,
Because it's full of air.
yeah, that's it. It's
Yeah,
just,
I know. My nan used to love Neil. My nan always used to make me buy like shitty half loaves, and it used to really annoy me. Like half loaves and little loaves. That's what she used to like to buy.
I think women prefer softer bread because my mum says like, and this is why that beeping in the background was me making my own bread because she likes to get the softest fucking shite from the supermarket. Not brioche. I mean that would be all right, but just like stuff like, oh, I like this bread. It's nice and light. It's like it disintegrates as soon as you try and spread butter on it. It's
Even
Oh,
in
yeah,
all,
you know when-
I've just
you know when you
realised
make
I was
yourself-
on mute.
hello, Toppy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bit of a
Hello.
bit of a
Hey,
keyboard,
Toppy.
big man like.
Hey, there's been
Yeah.
some fallout from your show last night, Top Cat. Are
Really?
you aware there've been mass bannings because of your show last night?
oh
Top Cat?
my.
I'm not. What's been occurring? It was. Thanks for joining me for the first reading. We'll have to pick it up perhaps next week. It
Yeah,
seems like
lots
it'll
to
take
get
a good 3 or 4 weeks to, finally get to the actual.
Well, we get to the
Wow.
plan.
What's been occurring today, Hemi?
Oh, no,
Flossie
it's
can
just
tell you.
been- Like, yeah, I've been kicked from the super secret group. I'm persona non grata now. So, yeah, me,
I
me
saw a
being
clip-
the-
I saw a clip
Sorry?
of Brutus saying I could just message him if I wanted to speak to him.
Flossie, so are you
Yeah.
telling me you're no longer going to be a smoking hot wife in the Alps?
yeah, looks like that.
Oh, you're out of
Yeah, I've
contention now.
lost out.
I mean,
and,
you're both
Well,
vegetarian.
Spacey Tracy, if she's in tonight. Spacey Tracy got binned as well.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
thought-
Spacey Tracy's in.
Comments?
I mean,
Me and
you.
Tracy.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, if anybody, someone's Brutus got, hang on, let's get through these words in order, shall we? You could both enjoy the same vegetarian meals and pretend that you're enjoying what you're eating.
I know. Oh, shut up.
Why
I
is it?
love
Why
my
is it they always make the vegetarian meals, into like sausages and say, "Oh, it's just like sausages." If you hate meat that much, why do you want it to be just like meat?
I don't
Just-
do that. I just eat I tend to just eat vegetables
I,
early.
I have you. I'll have you.
vegetables to go.
Today, I.
Remember, Flossie's single and ready to mingle, and she eats like a rabbit too.
Well, I've been vegetarian today. I've had a parsnip and carrot soup. That was nice, and then I had some a cheese sandwich
Yeah.
and bread and butter with it. And the bread is I made it myself because I absolutely.
Oh.
Well, you know what? I don't go to the shops that often, and I could have a loaf of bread, but often it goes mouldy. So I'll just bake small loaves in the bread machine what a neighbour was chucking out. And
Do you throw the bread in the fridge? There's a trick. I'll add a few extra days for you.
oh yeah, you could do that, but like I've got this bread maker and it works. So
I don't like fridge bread. It stays like
Fridge
it goes
bread.
like funny.
Freezer bread.
yeah, have you noticed bread in the freezer gets
Freezer bread, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Fridge bread, I don't
Freezer
like.
bread's good in the toaster. Like you put freezer bread in the toaster, you get some nice toast from that.
yeah. But
Well,
that's-
my apologies then to Flossie and Tracy and anyone else that has
It's
apparently
okay.
been kicked. This is honestly the first I've.
For being in chat, apparently, I had my
really-
spy
yeah.
in Brutus's super secret group told me that
It's
it was for the crime of being in your chat, Top Cat.
Wow.
Jeez. Well, that is I feel just like Brutus did. Well, Brutus. Now I know how you felt when Millennial Wolves wouldn't let you in his little clique. Well, he's doing exactly what he said the BBC and Millennial Wolves, are doing. But then he's doing it to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
And anyone
Brutus.
surrounding you as well. I mean, he's not only you for the crime of doing it. It's
Well,
Flossie and Tracy for the crime of watching.
I've never
You know,
even
it's-
said anything about Brutus. I don't hate him. I genuinely don't.
but
I don't
Flossie,
hate him.
you
Nobody hates Brutus. He's too ineffectual to hate.
No,
I don't
but
hate
it's-
Brutus. I just Go
yeah. Sorry. No, I was just gonna say. Well, obviously this is amusing, and I'm not gonna just not be here. I don't know. I guess that's just too much. But I mean,
Well, there was
I
a
didn't
whole
mean to
chapter.
hurt his feelings.
Well, there was a whole chapter of his book called Channels of Communication, and he said that those that that will talk to anybody, they will have all the power because. I don't remember exactly what it was. I was reading the chapter and I can't remember what it is. How's that for knowledge retention?
Well, then I should have all the power then, because I'll talk to anyone.
I think I can summarise the point.
Well, Campbell also talk to anyone, and look where he is now, Flossie. Maybe you don't want to.
All right, maybe not anyone. Maybe
Not literally anyone.
Selective. Not literally anyone. I am, a bit selective, but you know what I mean.
Daisy's asking if it was on Telegram. This goings on was that where the fallout was happening?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
on the Telegram super secret group.
I'm only on the Discord at the moment.
Didn't even explain his actions to Spacey Tracy.
Wow. No, he didn't do it to me either. He could have just sent me a message and said, "Look,
it's not very. Yeah, that isn't very manly just to get rid of someone on the quiet, is it? You at least
especially, I mean, Tracy's
pay the courtesy of messaging.
When we going on when we've been in on Brutus too hard before, Tracy said, "Look, come on, lads." I mean, it's like she's never said a word against him. It's just
this time there's some reasonable questions too, because of the very questionable people that Brutus is talking about now. We'd like to.
I thought he was supposed to be all accountable to reasonable questions.
Yeah.
I thought Brutus was into that.
Well, he said
reason.
People like Greg Johnson and Millennial Woes, because they only want to talk to their clique of e-celebs, they're going to lose out on the true power that Brutus wields, because he'll talk to anyone except he won't talk to us, and he won't come on my Banter Nationalism show.
He won't talk to Flossie, he won't talk to Spacey.
I mean, surely,
he won't talk to me.
But Brutus, you're missing out on the marketing strategy. I mean, people are interested in your book now. You could come on and talk about it. And you could have been a guest, but I mean, to be fair though, we do have like some interesting science news schedule. But I say it's interesting. I'm interested in it. So I'm not sure about you guys. But we will. I mean, we've got a jam pack in these 2 hours. We will get through balsa wood wind turbines, and we'll get through whatever happened to wave power compared to nuclear power. So it's 2 hours, but I think we can get through it if we.
Wasn't it massively inefficient? Sorry, we'll get there. Yeah, when we get there,
like the Brutus plan, we'll get there.
Yeah,
wind turbines are absolutely bloody awful as well. When you see a range of hills and they're full of wind turbines, and they're shite anyway, they barely generate any power.
Well, the thing is, whenever you see a wind turbine,
they generate lots of money for the person that. Person that gets
That's why.
The national grid has to do load balancing, so they understand that turbines are intermittent in power, and they need something that can very quickly come on if they don't do it. Now, unfortunately, a coal power station, as good and as efficient as they are, you can't just sort of shove more coal in. It will take a few minutes at the very least for the boiler to warm up and produce more steam pressure. So in order to counteract the intermittent nature of wind turbines, you need something that can turn on instantly to balance the load, and preferably something which is always idling, and that's usually a diesel generator or a gas turbine, which can also be a diesel turbine. So whenever you see a wind
farm, a bit like the Extinction Rebellion protests, where they're having their protest against the evils of capitalism and everything, but you still got to charge your iPhone, so you need a diesel generator.
That's it. So just whenever you see one of these, wind farms, just remember there's a turbine somewhere burning diesel or gas, which is it's efficient, but it's not as good as burning coal. So it's.
You want to rephrase that? I think Brutus has extolled the virtues of burning coal before.
Yes, he has.
They're closing a lot of power stations around the country, though.
I know. I mean,
it's interesting, and they're outsourcing it to.
Well, I'll go on record as
outsourcing a lot of it to Belgium, actually.
I'll go on record as stating I don't believe that fossil fuels are anywhere near as scarce as we are told they are. They want to create.
Nor do I.
It's the old supply demand. They want to artificially inflate prices so they can.
Yeah.
Well, and the governments are
What
happy
could
for
you
them to do it as
possibly
well
mean,
because
Top Cat?
they can tax us.
Nick
And
Griffin.
I don't. Yeah,
Nick
I don't
Griffin
think.
told me in the 90s that we were at peak oil and they were going to run out of oil. I mean,
Yeah.
what? But are you suggesting that Nick Griffin would have sold me a pup?
Top Cat.
Peak oil.
Top
I
Cat.
don't think it's actually made in the way, and it's just a finite resource either. I don't think it was just the bones.
Well, have
Well,
you
I'm
ever,
glad
have
you
you ever heard any of those
mentioned this.
conspiracy theories where they say that it's self-recurring?
Well, I'm glad you both mentioned this because I happen to know that oil is formed from methane condensation, and I did it when I was doing my geology dissertation.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get it. Let's get into it. Let's.
I mean, I don't
What was that,
like
Flossie?
I don't like to harp on
Puppet, tell us about the distillation towers of the different, areas where they cordon off the butane from the methane. Everybody wants to hear about that.
sorry, you guys.
We have geology.
I do have to do this.
chemistry here.
Yeah, well, then that's the thing. I don't like to talk about my academic background because it's boring. But some things about
No, it's not.
well, some things about
Petroleum
it.
distillates are never boring, Puppet. You gotta tell them about petroleum distillates.
Oh yeah,
It's not just kerosene. It's not just gasoline. It all comes from somewhere. There's a base molecule for all of this.
Put it this way: the simplest way I can sum it up is, you've got a line of discontinuity between the Earth's crust and the mantle called the Mohorovicic discontinuity line. And the pressures there are enough to form all sorts of gemstones, including diamond, and you need incredible pressures. And what's that diamond coming from? Well, in the magma, there's carbon, and when you squeeze all of the hydrogen out of carbon, because it will naturally sort of form hydrogen and carbon together forms methane, you end up with coal, you end up with oil, and you keep on compressing it, you end up with diamond. So this is why they will find coal in oil reservoirs as a lining, and they'll even find diamonds amongst it. They don't really talk about that though, because then people will go, "Oh, I just thought this oil bubbled up there, and it was just it's a porous reservoir which holds in dinosaur bones and shit, and peat and." And here's the thing: I can understand some people saying, "But." No, we know that coal is produced as a fossil fuel because there's fossils in it. And if you look at peat and lignite, it's provable that those are organic in origin. And yes, they are. But I would say coals like anthracite, I would go as far as to say that those are produced from methane condensation in the Mohorovicic discontinuity line. And I really recommend people do this. When I was growing up in the south of France, there was a small library, bookshelf, really, in my granddad's house, and I couldn't really read French, but I could read diagrams, and because diagrams, they've just got nouns in them, and terms like that you can learn. Anybody, I can read Italian, but I don't understand Italian, so of all the books he had, a lot of them were just identifying mushrooms and herbs and various things he'd go and see on the walks. But he also had a book on geology, and I remember being really fascinated about it. And it talked about its theories and how they all produced. And I thought to myself, I sort of said to him, where do gemstones come from? Where do we find gemstones? And he talked about it, and he mentioned Mohorovicic, and I was like, is that a French name? He says, no, he's a Czech bloke. But perhaps we could get on to the abiotic origin of fuel after we talk about wind turbines, because I saw this article, 15 artificial sphincter pros and cons, hysterectomy for fibrous... Wait, this is... Oh, okay. That's nothing related to it. But I saw this article, I think it was on Monday or Sunday evening, yes, last week, and I was like, I've got to talk about this. I really do. So, is that
talking about wind turbines?
Wind turbines. Wind turbines are a con. We all know they're a con. But even more than that, the materials used to make wind turbines are not ethically sourced. So, I shall read this article below. Wind turbine...
Why does it hurt nugget? Okay.
It does. Yes. Actually, yes, it does. Wow. No,
Go on.
because
Oh, okay.
balsa wood doesn't grow in Africa. It grows in South America. So,
Okay.
wind turbine blades are often made from balsa wood, and then they've given the Latin name there, which I'm not going to pronounce. The illegal harvest and trade of balsa wood in Peru appears to be growing as demand outstrips supply in neighbouring Ecuador. When will clean energy of the future be powered by... Oh, sorry. Will the clean energy of the future be powered by illegally harvested timber? Well, it already is. General Electric claims its Halliday X13 megawatt offshore wind turbine. It's the biggest and most powerful offshore wind turbine in the world. Its blades are 107 metres long. There's a diagram there. Can we see that all right, chat? What if I zoom in a bit? Does that make it a bit better? So there's the Eiffel Tower. That's 324 metres tall. There's the Chrysler Building, whatever that is. And there's this fucking eyesore, this destroyer of birds, this killer of insects, this batterer of bats. And just remember, whenever you see this, gas turbine or diesel turbine is producing the real power. Its blades are 110 metres long, and they're made from fiberglass fabric and balsa wood. So much like wings.
Have you ever heard about the scam the Spanish sun farmers had? Basically, what they were doing was, because the tariffs were so good, they were floodlighting the PV at night.
Oh my god! So in other words, it was cheap. It was cheap enough. So the electricity, it was worthwhile using electricity to keep them going, because they'd get enough. I mean, that's the thing. So much of this is all just like subsidies, and that's when they talk about, oh, it's profitable and stuff like. Yeah, it's profitable because of the subsidy.
Did you notice? I don't know whether you know about this sort of stuff, but as soon as solar panels started getting affordable, that was it. The subsidies got fucking rolled up.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I suppose that was it. Why is balsa wood used in so many wind blade cores? Simply because it's strong and lightweight. I mean, if you ever done model making, you appreciate balsa wood. It's a nice material, actually. And there's a magnified image of the end grain of balsa wood. See, just like nimble bread, lots of holes in it.
It's good for making stunt chairs for hitting people with.
Oh yeah, I bet it still hurts if you make them, thick.
Is that what all the pro wrestlers use then? You reckon?
Yeah, balsa wood. Yeah, those chairs are made of balsa wood. That's what they hit people with. No, because they use those fucking steel chairs, the mad bastards. Don't they?
Well, they used to. It's gone out of fashion a bit now, because they wanted bigger sponsors that paid them more, so they had to go a bit PC. One of the reasons why nobody watches anymore.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, I mean, back in the old days, it was glorious sport, but I know it's choreographed. I don't care. The fact is, if Andre the Giant picks you up and he drops you down 8 foot down onto a plywood sprung floor, that's going to hurt. Especially when he flops on top of you.
You got to think you've got 2 big old units, like in the heyday, like you had
Daddy Haystacks,
Hulk Hogan fighting the Ultimate Warrior. You've got 2 absolute fucking great big lumps there, smacking into each other, throwing each other around,
jamming his thumb in your arsehole.
Yeah, if they were doing that for real, they'd fucking kill each other, wouldn't they?
Sure. Even more recently, you had. I'm quite a fan of pro wrestling. You had something called strong style, which people like Brock Lesnar would use, and they're actually, really properly laying into each other. I will say though, people that say, "Oh, the results predetermined." Well, yeah, it is, and it's not real. Well, no, it's not, but. Have you ever watched a James Bond film? Because Sean Connery isn't really James Bond. You know he's an actor, don't you? But you still enjoy the film, don't you?
It's like watching the Premier League, isn't it, Toppy?
It's like watching all sports.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's all predetermined.
I mean, the bigger the sport, the more crooked it is, I believe.
Well, apparently, City won today 3-1 against Liverpool, but I've just lost interest in football.
I see your mate Davis was in chat yesterday telling you about the equaliser. Is he missing you, Toppy?
I did see him, but I didn't reply. Well, Nativis has apparently he's got about 20 grand on City to win the league, which it looks as though it'll come in for him. So I hope he spends the money well.
Well,
He'll probably buy Shand a little prezi, won't he?
Oh dear.
Maybe bake him a
Child
cake with
bride.
like tools inside, so he can.
Well, he's like he served his time, didn't he? That's why he's living in the ethno house, isn't it?
No else.
Oh,
Is it, don't they call it the ethno village? Don't they? Or something?
Yeah.
no straight.
Something gay like that.
They
Oh,
want
they-
to all have an ethno street, don't they? Where
He's in the comment. He's in the comment now.
Who
nativist,
lives in a
35
house
grand,
like this?
Is that the real nativist?
Who lives in a house
Hey.
like this?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a fake nativist then, isn't it?
They're all fake. That's
Even
not
the real ones. Even the
Yeah,
real
you
ones
never
are
know.
fake.
Yeah, you never know who anyone is anymore. I just assume everyone's fake.
Well, you
That's-
can't go back to their channel, so.
No, that's not a real Spacey Tracy saying oi oi sandwich. That's I see. So you've studied how Spacey Tracy talks, and you're just going to copy them from now. That's not a real someone in the chat. They're all fake.
What a good functionality to remove that was. You could if somebody made a comment, you could click on them and you could see, it's actually that person. Now you can't click on them. Anybody can see. I can just go. I can get the Flossie's picture there and just call myself Flossie and post whatever I want. And
Exactly. You can tell, like, you can do it after the show. So, like, after the show, when it's finished, if there's comments, you can click on them, but not during.
all right.
My name is Nico
Yeah.
Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Yeah, that is a good film. Yeah. Rest in peace, Andre the Giant. So, balsa wood. What's it about? Where's it come from? As of 2008, Ecuador produced 89% of the world's commercial balsa wood. In 2019, balsa prices almost doubled. Supply was constrained by a long rainy season in Ecuador that limited harvesting and transport. At the same time, demand for wind turbines spiked in the US and China, and prices in Ecuador were bid up by Chinese intermediaries. Ecuador's Ching Chong Chinky Cough lockdown in early 2020 didn't help either, shutting down freight traffic. Oh, that was a sensible idea. And the lingering economic impact of the pandemic seems to have introduced economic need for alternative sources of rural income. There you go. There's a balsa tree.
What economic crisis? The only economic crisis is that we're getting fucked, not the fucking rich. Jesus Christ. The absolute bullshit these people talk.
The economic crisis
they're
of...
benefiting from it. They're making more money from it.
Oh,
So,
What economic crisis? Fucking.
speaking of...
I mean, do you
Heavy.
literally like you can tell when someone's writing a green article because it's all lies. That's how you can tell, isn't it? It's just all lies.
Well, amongst
I've
the
been having
lies...
an economic crisis since the GameStop shares started plummeting.
Hold.
Yeah.
Hold.
And they started getting any money off it. Remember, the
Hopefully
house always wins. The house always wins.
Yeah, well, they've still got to close the shop
good guys
positions.
last.
Don't count us out just yet, but I've got about 70-something shares in GameStop, so I'm hoping my
Well,
financial crisis
everyone's
is
tapping
over
out though,
in the
aren't they?
near future.
Even
No,
I'll tap out right the fuck now.
Tyrone tapped out, didn't he? Phil has because he's a filthy
Oh,
capitalist.
That's
Yeah,
what
fuck
they that's the thing though. You should be more savvy, perhaps, because the hedge funds were onto the media, and the media was circulating the story that the hedge funds have all closed the short positions, and then at the same time the hedge funds started laddering, which was selling the shares that they do have back and forth between each other, causing the share price to plummet artificially. And what they wanted to do is scare retail investors like Tyrone and Phil into selling, panicking and selling. But it's widely believed, in fact it's proven, that the shorts, they still need to close the positions, so it's going to go back up. It's just a case.
Well, they bought
of,
140
Well, go
shares,
back
didn't
up.
they, Toppy?
how long people-
239% shares.
Yeah, how long people can hold on to the shares. Like I've said, I won't go
Well,
on about it.
assuming that whoever you bought
new
shares
Apple
with doesn't
style,
sell on your behalf, because Robinhood has been selling retail customer shares on their behalf, even though they didn't ask them to.
Yes, a couple.
It's technically not illegal, though.
Places have.
Yeah,
been-
but it's like saying you can own 239% of a company and it's not illegal. I mean,
Yeah, but no, the people who've had their shares sold are people who don't own the shares outright. The people who own it on a temporary basis, if I remember rightly.
So
That's why they sold the share.
if I've got a cow and then someone says, how much is your cow worth? And I say, well, it's worth 50 shillings. And it's like,
Oh, yeah.
all right, here's 150 shillings. I now own 3 cows. Well, I've only got 1 cow. Yes, but I own 3 cows. How does that work? I've only got 1
Okay,
cow.
well, what if you loan off someone to buy a cow, right? And then the person who's loaning you the money to buy the cow because you haven't actually bought the cow says, "I'm going to sell your cow because you fucking."
Nah, this sounds like a fucking
The stock is
scam. If you want my cow 50 shillings, firms, no
It's
negotiation.
all a fucking scam. The stock market's a fucking scam. The entire fucking thing's a scam.
It's a scam almost as bad as compounding interest. But I'm glad we're talking about compounding interest in laddering, because you know what you can't make a ladder out of? Balsa wood. It will compound your errors. So, balsa wood. Balsa.
I bet Brutus seems to have gone to slip and fall schools. I think he's made a ladder out of
So, in Peru, balsa, also known as topa, occurs naturally in primary and secondary rainforests. Does anybody know what primary and secondary forest is? I don't.
Yeah, I fucking hate primary forest. Worst kind. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's primary where nobody actually lives, and secondary they actually.
James Shander's been to a few primary
built up
He's
areas.
been to a few primary schools, yeah.
So the balsa
I'm
tree.
interested in the
Yeah.
difference.
Well, maybe chat can find out what the difference between a primary and a secondary rainforest is. Not rainforest. I keep saying that. It says primary and secondary forest. See, primary and secondary forest. The balsa tree is the tropical hardwood. It's a hardwood. Would you believe? How can balsa be a hardwood? I can literally score it with my fingernail. This map.
How much you want it?
What's that?
Old growth forest it is. An old growth forest, also termed primary forest, virgin forest, late seral forest. Seral? I should be cereal. And then, or primeval forest is a forest that has attained great age without significant disturbance and thereby exhibits unique ecological features and might be classified as climax community.
Ooh. That's what she said.
So the Food and Agriculture Organisation of the
Phil's
United
got a new
Nations
lighter.
defines-
I have, yeah. It's an electric one.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got a
The amount
different
of times
sound
he's
to
clicking
it.
it needs to put some fucking gas in it.
You can't afford
Fucking
gas.
eagle ears. Everyone's got fucking eagle ears in this chat. It's like, fucking hell, Phil, your fucking door needs some WD-40.
It's just that
For fuck me.
your microphone's turned up to 11 to 12.
Maybe.
Yeah, I can't control it. This old technology's fucking superior.
But maybe not have like your microphone like next to your lighter when you're lighting.
What am I supposed to do? Listen, I'm not going to cooperate. I know you got autism, but this is just the way I roll. I'm an annoying motherfucker.
So now we've established that balsa is flammable. Although there are efforts to grow balsa plantations in Peru, in general, timber plantations in Peru are limited. And you see, here's a graph, and it's going down. I'm sure that means something.
It's a graph. Oh no.
We like
Big
graphs.
line go
Yeah.
down.
Graphs mid. Data mid.
Yep.
Graph met.
Line goes down.
Oh no, look at that. That's going down.
Yep.
Line go down?
Line goes down.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Big line goes down.
Oh,
It
right.
did go up a bit.
So
and then it went
the
down.
vertical axis is hectares. So the number of hectares under established timber plantation in Peru between 1997 and 2013. So it went up in 2009, 2010, but then it went down again. What's going
So
on
why
there?
has it gone down? Is that because of the economic crisis where all the millionaires and billionaires have got no money?
Yeah, the economic crisis, which started in, 2011, where the less... yeah. So the commercial harvest of balsa timber from natural forest is typically not attractive because it's uncompetitive compared to plantation growth
Wait,
balsa.
you can tell it was a crisis because what's his name? Green from BHS had to nick all the pension funds. So I suppose there must have been a bit of a crisis going on.
Listen, he couldn't get
I'll
fucking his golden yacht for his kid. Feel
I'll be
fucking
disappointed if the hectares aren't converted to football pitches at some point. I don't understand the hectares. I understand the football
Yeah,
pitches.
I need it in Olympic swimming pools or football fields.
Olympic swimming pools. Yeah, they always do that one. So I've never seen one. I'm poor. Don't use Olympic swimming pools. Use.
Yeah, the 50-metre pools are very few and far between, actually, come to think of it. I've never swum in a 50-metre pool, I don't think.
No, I'm too poor for that.
There is one in Manchester, I think.
All right,
Or
so
the moon's the other the moon's the other thing they use.
currently, there's
how many double deckers would it take to get to them?
Hobbit,
London's got enough.
You've just
How many
reminded me
mosques?
on that previous page you were on Binance. I signed up to Binance recently. Dogecoin is taking the world by storm at the moment.
but that's Elon Musk's pump and dump or something. I don't know, but
It's all a fucking pump and
I
dump.
could-
It's all based on faith. It's all, oh yeah, this is gonna fucking sell loads, and everyone's like, yay, I've lost all my money in my house.
let's have.
He's very
Fucking
very
idiot.
negative today, Phil, isn't he? I mean,
So-
I am, yeah.
he's shitting all over GameStop. He's
So-
shitting all over Dogecoin.
So in
It's a
1997,
coin named after a dog, man.
in
But he's
19,
doing it through his iPhone.
in 1997, Peru had close to 300,000 acres of balsawood forest, but now it's down to less than 50,000. So that's what the graphs mean. So
Is this because of the economic crisis where all the millionaires and billionaires are now skint, so they can't afford to buy
I think
all
it's
this
down to the economic crisis of people
Yeah.
in those countries can't manage the environment for shit, and that's why all the pollution comes from these fucking countries.
It's definitely them. It's not fucking greedy capitalists coming and robbing all their shit, is it?
Well, the greedy
not that.
capitalists happen to be villagers going like, "Oh look, balsawood's dear. Yeah, okay, let's go and get a chainsaw and chop a whole bunch down. It'll be worth it."
No. It's probably.
I mean, they even say that it's uncompetitive. That's right, because if you've got a properly managed forest, you can actually have the trees planted enough distance away. A properly managed forest is much better than a primary forest. It's got better biodiversity in it as well.
Do you want to bring more Jews in?
Well, especially
Sort it out for
if
you.
you're doing a mixed wood forest as well, it's been proven that mixed wood forests, as opposed to like single tree plantations, are better biodiversity, probably better soil health in that case than a primary forest.
Hold on. I've got to pull Top Cat on this one. Musk wouldn't risk his position. What do you mean? He was on fucking Joe Rogan smoking a doobie. What the fuck, Top Cat?
Joe,
He's funded by the
Risk his position, in a financial manner. He's literally the richest man in the world now. He wouldn't be part of a pump. He's got no need to do it. He's got more money.
Oh
Have you
yeah.
ever
Once
seen,
they have enough money, they stop. Yeah.
have you ever seen
Well,
Wall Street?
Musk isn't a bad guy at all, because he actually.
No, he's a good boy.
Last week I watched Wall Street, and I
He
kept
tries to
thinking,
short.
who was Golden Gecko? And it's like, it's Michael Douglas. Because Martin Sheen's in it as well as Charlie Sheen, and
He got throat cancer from eating too much pussy.
Based.
But Michael Douglas, he's in that, and then so his character is like the big shot, corrupt stockbroker, and then Bud.
Jewish.
But
Stockbrokers corrupt.
so but
What?
Bud Fox is there. And then he was just, because he gets really upset because he's got this insider knowledge about his dad's plane firm. Airline, that's it, yeah. And so he gives this insider knowledge to Gordon Gecko, who makes a load of money on it. And the idea being is like, okay, well, there's this other guy that comes in, but I'll tell them to favour you if you meet them halfway. And Gordon's like, yeah, I'll totally do that. I'm not going to liquidate this company and gut it for all it's worth and make all these people unemployed. So then, shock horror, Gordon Gecko actually twists and turns around, and he liquidates the company and ruins them all.
And so that coming.
Yeah, Bud Fox gets all upset about it. And the reason I mentioned this is because Bud Fox turns to me and says, when's it enough money? When have you got enough yachts? When have you got enough paintings? And then Michael Douglas like, it's not about the money. If I didn't do it, somebody else would have. And it's always that sort of justification, like, if I didn't rape those babies, some other one else would have. It's like,
yeah, the James Shand alibi. It's called,
you know, if I didn't,
Well,
like,
it's a bit like rape them for the packies, rape them, isn't it?
or
Yeah,
in the case of George Soros, if I did,
Have we not had a bit of a running theme of rape for a bit too long now? It's about 2 months now we've had this fucking
I didn't.
rape and the current.
Oh, actually, I did bring it up with that analogy. Let's use the George Soros analogy. Well, if I didn't sell my, if I,
yeah.
if I didn't sell those Jews into slavery, another Jew would have. And it's
What was that?
oh dear, right.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Ah, Dad, can I have money for a lighter, please?
Dad, I've been collecting £20 notes. Your wallet's full of them.
I'm just gonna.
Sounded more like a
I'm just.
police knock on the door, that didn't it?
I was gonna say, Dad, come. You haven't given us 20p yet. I'll mute him until he gets back. So yeah. Anyway, balsa wood. It's very interesting. It is. There's evidence that a perfect storm of supply.
Back to the green thing. Like
Yeah.
you say, you know, it's whoever dies with the most amount of digits wins, don't they? That's the way society is now, isn't it?
Yeah, but then, like, even when that person dies, it doesn't even all go to their, like, kids or whatever. Like, the government takes most of it. It's like, a lot of it has been earned.
Or it stays in a corporation.
Then it gets taxed again.
Or
It's taxed again.
Oh, but I'm saying with these millionaires, it stays in a corporation, which board of directors does what they want with it. But they're saying the chat.
Don't a lot of the super rich kind of lease everything, don't they? So they don't actually own anything. So sort of
They
I
loan
suppose
a
when
lot
they
of
die,
stuff.
Well, this happened to a company of mine. I was working in the company and it went bankrupt, and this new guy bought it, and he's like, "Good news, guys, you still got jobs. I'm your new boss. Just carry on working." And it's like, okay. And then I didn't get paid for 2 weeks, and I was like, "What's going on?" I get paid every week, and then some people were getting paid, other people weren't getting paid. Those that were says, "Well, it didn't come from the company; it came from his personal bank account." And I says, "All right, I'm staying home until I get paid for the work I've done." It's like, "Oh, you got to come in and do work." It's like, I will do work when you pay for me. And so I turned in up to work. I went there, and he's like, "You coming to work?" It's like, "No, I'm just here to talk to my friends." It's like, "Oh, but you
should, just sit and drink coffee."
Well, that was it. I turned up to work. I sort of chat with people, and they were talking about doing a class action lawsuit. But they said, "Well, we did some evidence on this scumbag, and he's known to people." And funny enough, that town we went to, Hemi, where for my birthday party.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this guy in the town. His brother owns a business as well, but he's not a scumbag. And they said, "Yeah, good luck trying to get a single penny from him." Numerous times bailiffs have gone to his house, and he says, "I don't own anything. That house, it's not mine. That car, that's my wife's. I don't even own this shirt on my back. It's my son's." And it's like, so this guy's managed it because he's been bankrupted numerous times, and I'm almost tempted to mention his name, but I'm not sure how doxy that would be. Actually, yeah, it is.
You should report him to Watchdog. or like Road Traders.
Well, that was the sad thing, really. It was just the fact that I was told later, it's like, well, all he did is bought the fixtures and fittings. He didn't actually buy any of the stuff. So, and he was doing all these business meetings with people saying, "Oh, it's brilliant. I've got this multi-million-pound company. I've got all these resources." And then basically the head of HR went to it and says, "Well, that's very interesting, Mr. Name Redacted, because I don't want to dox myself. Because the contract you signed says you bought the fixtures and fittings, and that's all you got. So how is it that you're keeping the staff on when you're not paying them?" "Oh, wait, that's right. You're paying some of them, and you're making the others wonder when they're going to get their paycheck. So you keep them in limbo. Effectively, that's slavery. I do believe that's illegal under UK labour laws."
Yeah.
You try tying that to Aldi, though. But
Try telling that to the government. I mean, why is it there just isn't some department in the government where you go, look, this bloke isn't running his fucking business properly, and then they just jump straight on it and fucking do something to this bloke.
Well,
but they don't do that. You have to take the legal action out your fucking self.
Well, that was the thing. I mean, I did report him to the relevant forces.
Yeah.
Yes, we are aware of this individual. He has been banned from setting up a company. Unfortunately, however...
But he's still setting them up.
Unfortunately, no, what he does is his wife sets up the company and he's like, gets nominated as company secretary or something, which is not banned. I don't know how that works. Don't ask me. It's like, so you've been caught handling stolen goods and you're stealing them, but
why can't the somebody in the government go, look, you're breaking the spirit of the law. I don't give a shit that you're riding right up to the fucking law and alongside the edge of the fucking law. I don't really give a shit. What you're doing is you're breaking the spirit of the law. So fuck off. You're gonna get punished as if you broke the actual law. I mean, because that's what needs to happen, isn't it?
It's almost as if these buddies are in the same old boys club where they just like go, who can help a widow's son? And it's like, all right, okay, but can you like not rape babies in public, please? Because it's a bit hard to do the public relations on that. The public doesn't
not just
like
in
that.
Public, just at all. Can you just stop doing it at all?
Well, that's how people like Bernie Madoff end up getting done, don't they? It's just because you are allowed to fuck the goyim, but you're just not allowed to do it in public.
You can steal from others. You can't steal from your own fraternity.
Yeah.
But people talk about how shit China is, and there are as many objective ways to prove that China is shit, but at least they machine gun their executives when they've been doing something that harms the national interest. So there's people say, oh, you've been contaminating the supply of rice with plastic beads. You've been making artificial eggs. Execution. Oh, but I'm incredibly rich. Wow, in that case, we'll use the bigger bullets on you then.
Good as long as they get the right person, though. It's not so great if they get the right person.
Yeah. I mean, China is by no means perfect in many ways, but at least there's some sort of semblance of justice there.
Oh, yeah.
And over in this country, it just seems to be like, with Latin America, it's corrupt as fuck. And at least the corruption is honest, like, oh, the police are harassing you, and you just say, all right, how much is it going to cost? Is it $200? Oh, I look like a foreigner to you, that's $500. Okay, here you go. Right, and that's it. It's just that's the cost of doing business. But in this country, the corruption, I would say, is probably just as rife in those other ones because now we've got the third world elements. But speaking of the third world elements, let's find out why balsa wood's being harvested illegally. Like I said, I mean, there's a reason I played the theme tune because I couldn't be bothered to sing it or make it. Illegal balsa wood shipments are seized. In August of 2020, a shipment of illegally harvested balsa wood destined for China was seized by Peruvian authorities in the port of Calalo, Lima. The shipment consisted of 52 bundles, totaling 173 cubic meters of lumber. That's equivalent to, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 Olympic swimming pools. According to the National Forest and Wildlife Service, the wood was illegally extracted from the area of Puerto Inca in... and so there's the shipments... there's the shipments of wood. There's some photographs of wood being harvested. I've got a cough.
I wonder if the trunks are really light, whether you could just like go to a balsa wood forest, where they're cutting them down, get the trunk on your shoulder and have a picture taken for Facebook or something.
I'm gonna have to Google the balsa wood tree because I don't understand what they.
I'd love to do caber tossing with balsa wood. That would be fun.
Yeah.
I could feel like I was proper strong then. About a week later, another shipment of 9 bundles totaling 53 cubic meters was seized at a highway control post in Chicachamba. According to Peru's special. In Chumbawamba.
Down.
Bloke, again, you can never knock me down with balsa wood. And so the balsa was transported with false documentation. A closer look at the flow of illegal balsa wood in Peru reveals the nature of it.
False documentation from a third world country? I think not, I bet. I think you're telling fibs there, mate.
Well, I'm just reading it as it says. It's like it's just like yesterday when I was saying the
Well, I thought all cultures were equal, which means obviously they do everything above board in those countries, don't they?
Well, they do the corruption the same way as we do. Then,
Yeah.
as yesterday, as an impartial reporter, you know, I will read things even like if Brutus is saying the word faggot in the Brutus plan, I will say it. It's not me saying it. It's his words, not mine. And so it's this article's words, not mine. So
I mean, I wonder if Stephen J. James is gonna get that bound and give it to his mum for Christmas.
A close look at the flow of illegal balsa wood in Peru reveals the nature of illegal extraction. It appears to be small-scale harvesting operations that are organised, at least in part, by lumber companies domiciled in or with connections to Ecuador. For example, on the 13th of November, authorities seized some balsa wood in the district of Pachanga. The small-scale nature of this operation...
Chimichanga?
Yeah, chimichanga. Pachanga is... I know what is Pachanga. Pachanga. I might have... Pachanga is the genre of music which describes a mixture of son and merengue. There we go.
You cleared that one up, Hobbit.
Yeah. So they seized a shipment of wood bound to the Pachanga concert. Also in October and November of 2020, the Autonomous Territorial Government of the Wampa Wampas reported that the illegal harvest and trade of timber was occurring in Rio Santiago district by a company from...
Did they get knocked down and they got back up again?
Yeah, that's it. And according to the following documentation...
That'd be funny if their motto was "We get knocked down and we get up again." In Latin.
At least... So, according to the following documentation, at least some of this timber is balsa... Oh, there's a video. Audience, do you want this video? Do you want me to carry on talking? I'll carry on talking.
I don't know, that sounds a bit racist to me. Negocio de Madeira Topaz. That sounds a bit racist.
Negocio de Madeira.
Is there going to be some negocios in there? Is there?
Negocio de Madeira Topaz.
I've just seen another video as well that the keyboard big man posted in potential stories. It's certainly one for Crime Badge, Emmy. What's happened in Burnage today? Apparently a cafe owner opened his cafe, but the police have been attacking him, and it just shows the police starts punching him. Apparently he's Polish, the guy.
That's
right. Yeah.
No harm done.
Yeah.
Well, you should see. It's just some fat dopey policeman, and
that's like a fucking street brawl.
The guy's just the guy's just a little guy, and he still ends up on top of the officer, and then the officer grabs him by the throat. It's just... he needed it. He's lucky he didn't get filled in.
Does that other copper step in and go, "Look, mate, you know you've lost the fucking..."
I don't see this. I don't see this story and potential stories. Speaking of which, now, Hemi, you're following Andrew Lawrence on Twitter, aren't you? You know the bloke who does the stand-up.
Yeah, I went to see him live once in Leamington Spa.
Oh, nice.
You could tell though that officer, he's not in shape. He's not got any sort of physical presence. But he's got his badge, so he thinks he can just try what he wants, and he throws a shitty little punch, and this little Polish guy ends up pushing him over.
So
they think these people from lesser countries are just going to roll over for him, don't they? That's what makes me laugh.
I did see someone on the Twitter comments which was stating, like yourself, the police they value. This is what happens when you value degrees over common sense and being able to handle yourself physically.
This is when you value common purpose over common sense.
Don't know how the real world
that was
works.
Very clever.
They're the ones enforcing the law.
Why? Thank you, Top Cut.
I know it was very clever. But apparently there's a thing where like women coppers are more likely to go straight to violence because obviously they're smaller. Whereas when you had like the 6 foot tall built like a brick shithouse, he could just impose his will on people with the threat of violence. Whereas the little ones, they just go, fuck off, don't they? The perps are more prepared to...
What, like dogs?
Curly syndrome. Mice and men.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, right, I saw this police car the other day, and it was just covered completely in like rainbow fucking borders with like rainbow hearts.
Well, let's face it, Flossie.
Yeah,
the fact
they're not
is,
supposed to
the
be
police are
politicised
just
either,
political officers. They're not there to like preserve the peace or anything. They are just political commissars, and I think
they're not there to uphold the law. I think uphold the law is the phrase.
Polish bloke probably has had enough dealing and recognises the signs of a communist takeover and was just like, nah, fuck you guys. I'm gonna punch you. You deserve it. Speaking of which, I'm surprised Phil hasn't unmuted himself yet. I'm guessing the kids want more than just 20p.
Spoke to you, Hobbit.
Phil?
He just commented when you said about the communist takeover.
Huh? Phil, which is on our panel of people on the show.
Yeah, he literally just called you out for saying about the communist takeover.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Phil. What I've done is I muted you. But that only means, I muted you when you had the thing going on.
You didn't server mute it.
I didn't server mute.
Something fucking banged outside. Sorry for going, what the fuck, but you know what I mean? It's loud banging.
Oh, that was...
You're not supposed to say fuck all bugger.
Yeah,
oh, sorry.
I
don't know, it's car or something.
What
do you mean communist takeover? What, because it's authoritarian, that means it's communist? This is capitalism. You're in Stockholm Syndrome.
The Great Reset to me sounds a bit communist. This idea that will...
They're definitely going to share the fucking means of production with us, aren't they, these billionaires? Definitely.
Right. So, you know how the communists were poor and they didn't own anything and they had no property and all that? To me,
right,
yeah, and then when the Great Reset, they said, welcome to 2030, you'll own nothing, have nothing, and you'll be happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hang on, haven't they done this before about 100 years ago? Yeah, that didn't work out so well. I don't like that. Yes.
It was also the same under feudalism as well. That's why I called it neo-feudalism. Like under feudalism, you didn't own property either, did you?
You did. You had your own house. You had a wife. You had a house.
Well, not really.
For a third of the year, you weren't doing any work because it was a feast day. Your standard living.
Yeah, and the average life expectancy was like fucking 20, and everyone fucking died. It was amazing, wasn't it?
No, that was because of child mortality.
That's all right. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, all the kids.
That's why life expectancy was
right.
What
is communism, Hobbit? What is it?
Well,
what's the definition of it?
It's community. It's
right.
It's
a state. You know they're going to use. They're using communism to do it, Phil.
It's like
I'll be the bridge between you and Hobbit.
They're using socialism, but it's not real socialism. It's like Nigel Farage calling himself a nationalist. He's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely a nationalist.
How would you define communism, Phil?
Right.
I'd say it's the means of production belongs to the people, but it's also forced equality as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you've got to remember you're living in fucking 1984, where the definition of everything is out the fucking window, Phil. So it's like I do get your point that like it's not the definition of communism, but it's communism.
It's not even socialism, right? Because socialism, right? So communism is a stateless, classless society where the workers own the means of production. Socialism is where, no religion. Yeah, socialism is where there's common ownership of the means of production. That's why you have a government or whatever. These people are going to pretend they're socialists. They'll be like, yeah, we give a fuck about you, and you're gonna have better rights and all that shit. But it's not actually going to be that way. What it's actually going to be is they own all the property, and you die.
Well, we know this because we know better, but that's the way they're going to sell it. We're going to go. They're going to say to everyone, they're going to say, "Look, you lot want these filthy capitalists gone. Look at this. They're living high on the hog wall. You've got no fucking money." It does sound like a certain other period in history where where's our Nicholas and his children ended up being fucking excellent.
Oh yeah, poor old fucking Tsar Nikolai. He was a fucking beast, wasn't he?
He was better than
deserved it.
History Pro did a good live stream on that, didn't they, Phil?
Oh yeah, where they're just like, oh, poor little princesses. Oh,
so
we're dying at 20. Yeah, no, there was only 4% of the population was working class.
I can be a real cunt here, and if I go to my volume mixer and turn it down, then the only voice the audience can hear is myself. Oh, what a bastard I am. I'll just say this briefly. Do you know what else we don't earn the means of? That's the balsa wood. We'll get back to the balsa wood, but let's see what the chat say.
Under the Tsar, under the Tsar.
Wow, that
right?
sounds great. They didn't even have bread. This is getting better.
No, let me explain. Right.
Do
so
we have
under
to-
the Tsar,
listen,
under the Tsar,
Yeah,
the
but
average
Phil,
life expectancy
this has
was like
been
20
explained
fucking
like
8. Yeah.
billions of times.
People were dying.
No one's
they
actually
didn't own
explained
shit.
about balsa wood, though. And I want to do a thing
Fuck
about
balsa
balsa wood.
It's fucking capitalist bullshit.
None of us own
Fucking
the
simping
means
for
of balsa
capitalism
wood
again, you
production, Phil. That's the problem, you see. So let's
What?
get through this article and explain what a fucking... Because look, we've got 58 minutes and I haven't even done the first... I mean, I thought I was joking when I said these 2 articles are going to take 2 hours to read. Jeez.
Everybody
Yeah,
stop
okay.
fighting. Everyone be nice to each other.
Capstan,
No,
we are
it's all
talking
gonna be
about
okay.
the means of balsa wood production. Did you know that wind
Yeah, tell we need
turbine...
more
bla-
Jews in the market.
Did you-
Then it'd be better then, wouldn't it?
Did you know that that balsa wood is used in wind turbine blades? I didn't know that. I'm learning as you're learning, chat. So let's find out about this balsa wood. So the illegal balsa wood is being harvested in
Did they have
Peru.
balsa wood in communist Russia, Phil?
I don't fucking know. Probably not.
They've got
Didn't need that sort of bullshit.
they've got cedar
Don't
wood
fucking trigger me.
in
Sure.
Russia. They got
Because balsa wood. When
Oh
it
yeah, it
burns,
was so
that's-
much better under the Tsar, where you were fucking living in a fucking pre-industrial society. No one
Yeah,
had
it was.
education, and
It
everyone
was
was starving.
great.
Poor little princesses.
That's
Fuck
what the
off.
Russians want to return to. They want to get back into their summer houses and have their own gardens and
Yeah, the
organic
Dutch is,
food. Yeah, that's it. And they've
Yeah.
got beautiful carvings on them because it turns out when you can only do like 110 days of like sun where you can grow stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that means 2/3 of the year it's like, well, I'm going to be at home now. What can I do? I could make some kvass. All right, I've done that. Now what? I'm bored.
Yeah, yeah.
I could learn the accordion. Okay, yeah. I could do Cossack dance. All right, I've done that. I know, I'm going to carve exquisite details into my little dasher. Oh, that's nice, that is. That's
Beautiful.
Yeah. Actually, that was...
Traditional.
I don't think, if I may though, I think it's quite unfair to sort of paint Russia as quite the rural backwater under Tsar Nicholas II, considering the fact that they did manage to do things like field and navy, build the Trans-Siberian Railway, they had electric cars.
Yeah, but they didn't feed the majority of the
was-
population, did they? The
Yeah,
majority of the population was
apart
starved.
from all
Yeah,
that,
but-
apart from all that, what did Tsar Nicholas do for the Russians?
He
Yeah,
died, and it was
and
fucking
the other-
mint.
Well,
He did
should have fed
fuck all for the
themselves.
Russians. He was walking around with Fabergé eggs while the entire
why did-
population was like, "Where's my food?" He was like, "Oh, let's make Fabergé eggs."
Oh,
for
what you
fucking
mean,
prick."
They'd have been more
Jeff-
capitalist
with-
in Russia. Perhaps they would have fed themselves.
Well,
Oh, right, yeah.
with respect,
Of course, yeah. Like the
yeah.
fucking kulaks. Sorry.
We have to keep in. That's all right. But I said to
You ever
have to
notice
keep in
Lenin
mind,
was
though,
never called a kulak,
that with-
and yet he owned a lot
Fuck
of
the
stuff.
kulaks. They were Ukrainian anyway. They're not people. All right.
So I was just about to say, in terms of a sort of income equality under the Tsar, I admit that it was pretty bad. But considering that after Stalin's collectivization of the farms and the murdering of the kulaks, I mean, the food
Yeah.
production went down by about 4 million tons.
Yeah,
a
but
year.
that was
So
necessary.
if you're
I know
concerned
it's.
So
I know it's bad optics
you're
killing
saying
rich
it's,
people, but
so Phil, when
come
you're
on,
saying
guys,
it's
you would.
necessary, you know how like Robert Mugabe went, oh yeah, what Stalin did there, that worked well. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill these
They're black,
Rhodesian
though.
farm owners and replace them. What? So just like the Russians when they kill all the farm owners, like, oh, how do I do farming? I don't know.
Right, no, what it was is the following, right? The kulaks were not fucking. They were trying to industrialize Russia, right? Because before the fucking Bolsheviks and Stalin, it was a fucking medieval fucking bullshit backward society. They're trying to rapidly
beautiful.
industrialize Russia.
It was
but
wonderful.
The kulaks were not playing
Everything I
along. They
like
were
about
"Fuck you."
Russia is thanks to the pre-industrial society, and the worst period in Russia was the industrial society, and it took them
No,
a
it
long
fucking
time
was.
to
It
recover.
depends who you were, really, doesn't
It
it?
took- well,
if
it
you're a
took-
fucking, if you're a
Yeah,
czar
it's all right
or a
if you're
fucking
working in the
aristocrat, yeah, it's
KGB.
terrible for you.
Yeah, if you're working in the
Phil.
KGB, it was all right. If you were part of the inner party, then it was beautiful. But for everyone
Can I just
else,
say,
Bollocks. For everyone else, it was men's free education, free
Wait, wait,
healthcare.
oh yeah, so
can I just say something?
Yeah.
Like, I
Getting
just
paid
think-
in vodka.
I think, Phil, why
Hmm?
can't we could do a stream about this afterwards? You could do soon.
All right, then.
Flossie,
Tell you what, I'll
are you-
spurg the fuck out, right? And I'll
Flossie.
defend killing Kulak
Flossie.
and the Holodomor. You want to watch me defend the Holodomor?
Flossie.
Because I'll fucking do it.
Yeah. We'll hear about Balsawood, and then you do a Spurg
Yeah,
stream.
okay.
Yeah,
So, yeah, Holodomor,
because this
nothing
one
on
I have
charge,
been
and do
champing
nothing.
at the bit. And I know, Phil, we've got plenty of other weeks to do it, but we've only got this week to talk about green energy.
Right.
And it's
Let's do that.
we're
Yeah,
1
yeah,
minute 9 seconds. Oh wait, hang
Green
on.
energy, of course, is only possible because of capitalism.
So yes. Now, balsa word. Balsa word. Balsa word. Balsa word. So the following week, 2 truckloads of balsa have been seized, and here's some more balsa that's been seized. Wind turbine demands increasing.
What do they do? What do they do with the seized balsa wood? I bet they fucking burn
Let him
it.
finish
I'll
the
bet
story,
they-
Emmy. Jesus.
I'll bet
Yeah.
they fucking burn it.
Well-
At least that's at least my segue was related.
I'd like to think that they sell on the balsa wood to other, and I tell you what, those beautiful dashes in Russia with the wood carvings, a lot easier to do with balsa wood. So, demand forecasts for wind turbines anticipate a hot market over the next decade. The US Department of I've worked with wood before. I tell you, balsa wood's an absolute treat to work with. The US Department of Energy forecasts total US wind capacity to double by 2030. And Wood Mackenzie projects that global wind turbine supply chain represents a $600 billion opportunity over the next decade. While the replacement of balsa wood with other core materials like PET, polyethyl tetra PET, it's a plastic. New balsa plantations in places like Papua New Guinea will soon be ready to harvest, and new technologies allow for the recycling of balsa wood in used blades. So, global balsa consumption by wind turbine manufacturers is still expected to remain well over 200,000 cubic metres into 2020. So, what's that in old money? I want to know. Let's have a look at the conversion. So, 200,000.
About 650 cubic feet. 650,000
Oh, hang on.
feet.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at hectares. We're talking about cubic meters, aren't we? In the short term, it seems very possible that at least some of our clean energy will be powered by clean energy. Right, okay, so we have to forgive the article for being a propaganda and understanding what it is. I've established right at the beginning of this that
Have a look at doodling pad quick.
every wind turbine is got a diesel generator or a gas turbine. So let's have a look at this doodling pad. It's that. That's bait, that is. So, the other thing I wanted to talk about, and this pertains to this, is whatever happened to wave power? Because I tell you what, watching Tomorrow as well as a kid, I was like, oh, this is brilliant. We're going to have like actual proper because Top Cat was right. He says, isn't like all these renewables terribly inefficient? Yeah, but if you've got something that's happening all the time, like the whales, I've got to stop looking at doodling pad. If you've got something that's happening all the time, like the waves and the tide going in and out, you've got reliable power. And it doesn't matter then it's inefficient because you don't have to pay for fuel. I mean, sure, there's maintenance costs, but any form of power generation, there's maintenance costs. And with wind turbines, it's a load of bollocks because they get gummed up with beetles that strike against them, which reduces their increases their drag coefficient. No, if you increase the drag coefficient, that means it's slipperier. It makes them less slippery when they get covered in insect carcasses, and then they lose their efficiency, and then you have to stop the blades with maintenance. So really, why didn't you just use coal in the first place? So, did you know that there was, in the 1980s, there was these wave power, the nodding donkeys? It was shown on Tomorrow's World. Very simple system.
Oh yes, I remember this. Salter's Duck.
Yeah.
Where they went and you tried to utilize the sort of tidal patterns in order to was it vibrate?
Tides is different to waves. So with a tide system, an easy way to imagine it is imagine you've got a giant cylinder in, and you've got it in the sea, and it fills up with water. And as it fills up with water, it displaces air. So you've got a wind turbine at the top. And as it goes down, it sucks air in. So you've got wind going either way. And more importantly, you've got water going either way, which means you can have turbines, impellers with the water. Wave power is you've got these floats bobbing up and down on the waves, and they work like bellows with a one-way valve. So you've got air just rushing through a pipe with a wind turbine at the end. So it's constant wind. So Professor Stephen Salter was maybe 30 years ahead of his time when it came to harnessing the energy of waves. His innovative duct design was sidelined by the nuclear power industry and other vested interest in the 1980s. Well, it's now finally been vindicated and given the credit it richly deserves. So I'm going to summarise this before I get into the rest of the article. Margaret Thatcher commissioned a study on future energy sources. That's what it was. And they decided that, this wave power, in order to get it, it's actually more expensive than nuclear power. They never factored in the costs involved with maintaining storage facilities for spent nuclear
Can I do
fuel.
a quick advert, Hobbit?
Yeah, go on.
This program's been brought to you by Spring Break Shark Attack. Here's the whole movie summed up into a paragraph. After the initial taste test shark kill, you know the one, it's always right at the beginning of the movie and involves characters that no one seems to care that much about. There's almost an hour's worth of teen rape drama interspersed with maybe 15 minutes of shark drama. Then it's the big attack scene, which leads to some of the main characters saving the day. And then for the super sweet ending where everyone makes peace with whatever issues they were dealing with throughout the previous 85 minutes. I just thought teen rape drama. I mean, it really our audience does somewhat overlap with Brutus's, so I just think they'd probably quite like. It's Spring Break Shark Attack from 2005.
And I tell you what, if you had these nodding ducks on your beach, it could protect you from incoming shark attacks. So, the nuclear industry effectively killed it. The nail in the coffin was the... Oh, by the way, do you know where he did his first test run of this wave power system, Hemi? Lake Ness in Scotland.
Loch Ness.
In the land of the Scotia.
Did it get eaten by a plesiosaur?
Yeah, that's it. So they effectively killed.
In chat.
Yeah, the nail in the coffin was some consider deliberate miscalculation of the duct's efficiency by an independent analyst that measured the figure was out by a factor of 10. One of the analytical approaches that artificially elevated the cost effectiveness of the nuclear program was the cost of decommissioning. Long-term waste storage and overall environmental impact were not costed. Oh wow! So that paragraph just said what I was said. The UK development program.
That's it. Well, that's the green industry for you, isn't it? It's all headline figures. It's never about the actual. Like it's kind of like back to what I said earlier about the Extinction Rebellion protest. There's the protest, and they're using a diesel generator that they've covered over with a couple of pallets, and that pretty much sums up the green agenda entirely, doesn't it?
Speaking of which, have you found the Andrew Lawrence clip on Twitter where he's talking about you know the one where he's doing the fat bastard character talking about the pubs reopening?
Oh, I can probably find it.
Yeah, see if you can find it, because he's talking about they're going to open up in April, and I thought we could do that after. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it's worth doing because after the science talk. But so now here's the thing.
I found it. It's one of the first results. I'll stick it in.
I like nuclear power. However, I think the liquid salt reactors which use thorium, that's probably for another day, because I think...
No, does alcohol spread COVID then?
Well, this is the thing. This is why I want to play this clip afterwards, because we need a bit of a refresher after the science talk, which has gone on for Common OBS. How long have I been doing this for now? I've been doing it for 1 hour and 18 seconds. There you go, chat. You can see my OBS window.
As much as Phil tried to derail it.
I didn't fucking derail it. You fucking started it by defending the fucking kulaks. The fuck?
Well... No, I think it's actually
the fucking dead.
Yeah, this subject.
What the fuck is wrong
this subject is dead, so that's why we're moving on to wave power.
What week are we on now? And we still don't know who's overdosed and who's dead.
So the UK Development Programme for Alternative Source of Energy was first started during the oil crisis of the 70s. The Alternative Energy Programme, my dad remembers that they were importing petrol from Russia, and he said it wasn't, didn't get as good a mileage from it as you did with the domestic petrol. It was...
Fucking hell, Jesus Christ. Hobbit, I'm going to have to change your name.
What? Okay.
I'm going to have to change your nickname in here.
All right, okay, yeah. Well, the nightmare, that one is just... But anyway, we'll go on to this. The alternative energy programs played off against nuclear energy, not just financially, but also by defining the challenge as being able to assemble single units capable of replacing power stations.
Hobbit, you know, Quint.
Wait. Quint. Don't... Is that...
From
wait.
Jaws. From Jaws.
Oh, okay. I've not...
Jump in the fucking water.
I've not seen the film, so I wasn't familiar with the character. So the single units case for replacing power stations, wave energy devices, and since have favoured small-scale devices that are scaled up into high-output wave farms. Given all these artificial or emitted parameters, it's no surprise that nuclear power stations are deemed to be more economical, at least in the very short term. In a closed committee meeting on the 19th of March 1982, attended largely by representatives of fossil and nuclear fuels industries, wave power was quietly strangled. Salter described overhearing conversation in the gents' toilets that day that made it clear the decision was going to be a foregone conclusion. So it was with joy that I learned this week that the Scottish Government has presented him with the inaugural Satire Prize. There's a Satire Prize.
You mean the Saltire? Isn't it the Saltire Prize?
Well,
no, on the article, I can see it on the stream. They've actually misspelt it, and it's their Satire Prize,
yes,
which is the highest of all the irony.
Oh,
and I can't. Of all the fucking places to misspell his name,
yes,
they call it the Satire. Oh, for fuck's
sake! The Saltire Prize, named after the flag of Scotland, was the National Award for Advances in Commercial Development of Marine Energy, to be considered for the £10 million.
I mean, that's just modern education, isn't it? Sorry, that I can actually see it on the stream now, and that is so utterly fucking bothering me.
Yeah,
to the point where I'm actually having an
modern
autistic...
journalism, Kathy. That's what it is. It's
well, this story is from 10 years ago. Would you Adam and Eve it? This was published in 2011. But so it says here the inaugural Satire Prize. Sorry, Saltire Prize. Under the
this award is now renamed the Satire Prize, ladies and gentlemen. The Satire Prize,
under the
named after the flag of Scotland.
But wait,
the 10 million Satire Prize Marine Energy Challenge
in recognition
of his pioneering work in generating energy
of Stephen Satire. Hey, but this was 2011. Nicola Sturgeon wouldn't have had a thing to say about this because she's like, no, don't you realise the power? We don't need wave power. We're just going to be powered by love.
It's Nicola Sturgeon. Fish hate ducks.
Yes, they certainly do. Fucking Sturgeon. Yeah. Why is it they always got to have names like Alex Salmond, Nicola Sturgeon? Why can't Scottish people have like surnames that aren't based on fish? So that's...
You're right. I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
They are in fact
fish
named after fish.
Hey, there's some fishy business going on in the S&P. But speaking of fishy...
What, you mean all the money is going upstream?
Has Hemi found that Andrew Lawrence clip yet? Because if not, I'm going to look for it on Twitter right now.
It's been in there for about fucking 10 minutes.
Oh, thank you. Right, so we're going to have a thing...
I posted it 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, but...
Salmond...
minutes ago.
But...
Salmond was...
Yes, that's it.
Salmond was in charge in 2011.
Yeah. Right, so we're...
Same thing, though.
So here's a bit of a palate cleanser. We've done our science talk for this week, and I think this is all very good because we need to say, really, green energy is a load of fucking bollocks and it's a tax scam. But now
and it deserves to win the satire prize.
it definitely deserves to win the satire prize, but not wave power, because that is actual proper, clean, good energy, and I want to see nodding donkeys off the
So we're
coast.
going to have you having a massive row with Phil in a bit.
Yeah, let's get back
After
to
this.
that.
Oh well,
Oh yeah.
well, Phil,
Oh no, we got to watch the clip first.
Phil, can you see this clip? You see that?
I'm a fucking boomer.
Oh, okay. Well,
Are
I
you
am.
playing it now?
I am sharing the clip. I am sharing the screen with Discord, so you can see it there.
Tell me when you're doing it, and I'll press play at the same time.
All right, yeah, that's a good idea. So I'll give a 3, 2, 1.
Tell you what, 3.
No, I'm not doing it yet. I want to
One.
explain this. I want to explain first. Good news, everybody! Pubs are reopening in April. 3,
Wow.
2, 1.
All right, you bastards. I'm Barry Pieface, two-time European all-you-can-eat buffet champion, Guinness World Record holder, largest human shit ever recorded. Now, apparently government's going to open up pubs again in April. Good news, isn't it? Well, not fucking really, because whilst pubs will be open, the serving of alcohol's going to be banned. What's the fucking point of that, eh? What else are they going to do? Open all the shops but have a ban on buying things? Open the hairdressers but have a ban on scissors? Open the swimming pools but no one's allowed to get wet? Open the cinemas but with a ban on film screenings? Just let everyone sit there crying in the dark? Apparently they're going to axe a 10 p.m. curfew as well, so you can sit in the pub without being allowed to drink alcohol for as long as you like. Fucking brilliant, eh? How fucking exciting. I'd rather shove me dick in a toaster. What could be more miserable than being sat in a pub full of alcohol and not being allowed to drink a drop of it? Absolutely fucking wretched. It's like being in bed with a beautiful woman, but you're not allowed to touch her. At least if she fucked off and left you alone, you can have a wank, you know what I mean? And frankly, I don't know why they're even talking about opening pubs when they ain't even got the schools open yet. Talk about trying to run before you can walk. Although, to be fair, I don't do either of those things, so I'm not qualified to judge. You've got to give kids an education, haven't you? Otherwise, in 10 years' time, we'll have a nation of Deliveroo drivers.
Yes,
on our hands.
clip.
To be honest,
Ah,
it's
right.
fine
That's
by
on
me.
my internet.
The more
That's
Deliveroo
fast, though.
drivers there are, the quicker I get me chicken and chips. And I'm not a man who likes to wait. If I want food, I want it right fucking now. Get on your
Kinda
fucking
likes it, that
moped, get it to me quick, before I start eating my own pets. There was a time I had a hamster, gerbil, tortoise, rabbit, dog, and a pond full of koi carp. They're all fucking gone now, delicious bastards.
So that is Andrew Lawrence, and Andrew Lawrence, next show is in London. There he is. You could see him on Twitter. You want to follow him. He's got a Patreon. You can PayPal him. And andrewlawrencecomedy.co.uk, showing his upcoming tour dates. So
Brutus, Hobbit Brutus is doing Sunday Chat 99.
Sunday chat. No, Sunday
I
chat.
mean, like currently, is he currently doing it?
He's currently doing it. He's clashing against you, Hobbit.
So is he going to be talking? Is he going to be talking
Jeez,
about how
no.
hydroelectric power destroys wildlife and wrecks rivers and all that stuff? And it's not very good
He's
anyway.
probably just going to talk about fucking Trump and some.
No, he's talking to that meth squad
Slap-
guy.
slap
Hemi,
me
that's who he's
off.
talking to.
Oh, he's talking to Meth Squad.
Yeah.
I hear meth
How
is very.
that guy is.
Whoops. I hear meth is very Moorish, but you know.
Bad for your skin. Have you ever googled meth before and after? It's like.
Yeah, how the faces change on the.
Oh, faces of
shots.
meth. That's it.
Speaking of
It's
Chris
just-
Cantwell.
Like the face before, it's just like just normal face. Afterwards, they just look skeletal and they've just got like scabs all over their face because they can't stop picking their skin. It's really gross.
So,
don't do math kids.
That geezer sounds black. I wondered if it was Fallout.
You know.
Have you listened to DNA? Is that Fallout or is it one of or is it someone else?
It's how people from London sound. They've gone all niggerized, haven't they? They've got like a niggerized culture. and
There's a
accent.
lot of wiggers now, isn't there?
It is.
From London, fam. Yo, safe.
No,
Yo.
not in the
That's all
north.
they all sound on adverts as well now. They deliberately have those types of accents on adverts. They don't want people to be able to
Yes.
properly.
From London and shit, motherfucker.
Have you had a listen to it? It sounds like it might be Fallout.
I don't think so.
What are you listening to?
Well, you're listening to Banter Nationalism, episode CXIV Going Green, where we're having a scintillating conversation.
On the other channel, there's no Banter Nationalism 99.
Yeah, I thought. Sorry, guys. I thought I tuned into Sunday Discussion 99.
Yeah.
No.
Sunday chat.
That's on the other side, you know. If you want, so unfortunately there is some.
Are we the BBC or are we ITV, Hobbit?
BBC 4.
I think.
Oh yeah, very highbrow.
I like to think we're probably.
Break the Kulaks.
Oh,
Ape Station.
Are we Tiswas? Are we Tiswas and then Brutus is going live or something?
I like to think we were Lads TV
David
or yes. So Brutus is probably.
Hey, how come you got saved? You missed the purge, Phil. From Brutus's group.
I didn't get purged, no. He said he purged Flossie and Spacey Tracy, and he said, someone said, why have you got rid of the girls? And he said, just weeding out the weak. That's what he said.
Oh!
So there is.
Like, yeah, I'm still here.
There is some bad news, and we got 2 articles of Harvey news this week. I mean, one of them was. Did you know Katie Price's son Harvey kicked off at Loose Women's shoot when he flipped a table because they didn't have croissant? I mean,
yeah, I saw that. That was a pisser.
The fact he went. I'm pretty sure when he went there and they just like, sorry, we don't have any questions. Like, sacre bleu, this is a sacrilege. I'll be telling my dad Napoleon about this. Katie's not told him that his dad's actually Dwight York. He thinks it's Napoleon.
Fuck.
And that's what it's because I mean he's seen like pictures of French people.
Did he say let's more cross out, you cunts?
That's pretty much it. It's like where's my croissant, you putain fichier salade de prix. He's I think Katie's like showed him like pictures of people from Paris. Like they're like me but darker. So, Katie Price, and
it's true.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a bit of extra news that I haven't put in there. You've heard about the dude that's making "Hello, you cunts" face masks and T-shirt and everything.
Based.
She's crying about it.
Yeah, only because she's not getting a cut.
Well, that's it.
Fucking catchphrase. She needs to lean into that. She needs to trademark it as his catchphrase. Hello, you cunts.
The 42-year-old star appeared on the daytime show to discuss a BBC documentary about the teen, as well as the Sun's exclusive on her disability following the tragic. She's disabled.
Being a whore.
Constant pain.
She's a slag. It's a disease now.
Katie Price is.
If alcoholism's a disease, so's being a slag.
Oh, that's all right. So Katie Price is disabled for life and now waddles like a duck after horror holiday fall.
She's got a fucking pelt like when she keeps having that fucking Botox, the dumb bitch.
Yeah, so she looks like a duck, waddles like a duck, and sort of
fucks like a duck.
You know.
I mean, you gotta say one thing for Katie. She went black. She went black and never went back.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Isn't it like once you go black, no one wants you back?
There's young guys though to be a boyfriend. You just get like younger men. I don't know if it's just a money thing or what, but
probably is.
I think it's just like does anybody remember the "I'd do anything to get on TV" on the word? That's literally Katie Price's love life.
Yeah, that. Oh God, I try to forget that.
The word. I mean, these kids thinking they're edgy now. They never got to see the word of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was on that. So she said, a few years ago, we saw firsthand how Harvey can kick off. We were doing a photo shoot. We had to spray paint all over ourselves. You brought... And then...
Someone shut a door behind him and that was it.
You brought Harvey along because you were... you were taking him to the hospital afterwards and he was happy as anything sitting there. Katie nodded as she said that she remembered the incident. Linda continued... Oh, Linda, I remember Linda. She was in that comedy, which wasn't very funny. I think he asked for a croissant, and there wasn't a croissant there. And he said it was blatant anti-French propaganda. So basically, there's Harvey.
I've just added God's Own. Just let him know that that Banter Nationalism's on your channel. In Brutus, he's screwed.
Yeah, I mean, just let him know he's missed out some quality talk about the plight of balsa wood and the other renewable scam.
I'll pop a link in there as well because I've still got me wrench.
So, Kate,
I don't think you can banter much about trees, though.
So, viewers of the BBC...
I managed a bit.
We've seen... here we go. Viewers of the BBC documentary Harvey and Me... No, it's Harvey and I. You don't...
Oh, shit, they're all going against us tonight. Collett's doing his Warzone tournament.
Oh, fucking hell.
Well, that's it.
Oh, no wonder Ian-A's been so quiet.
Except those... Except no substitutes. This is the Banter Nationalism.
I think he's doing the stuck on the loading screen bit again. You know, he gets the bit where they're walking down the corridor for fucking ages. He's doing that bit again.
I see.
Just an update on Collett's.
Yep. So anyway, Harvey, when doesn't get his frozen pizzas or croissants, he headbutts and kicks walls and doors. And have you closed the door again? You cunt. And
he's like the Hulk. But brown.
So
brown Hulk.
Yeah, and he's making a move to residential college, and there's Katie Price with some orange makeup and black hair. And does she wear wigs or something? And then, suffice to say, Katie won widespread praise for once again using her son to give herself fame and stay relevant in the public consciousness because she's a one-trick pony and she's managed to figure out a way that keeps making money. So well done, Katie. But there is bad...
So she's literally going to blab everything.
There is bad news about Harvey Price. Have we heard this? This is bad news, and the fact is Harvey Price is well known. So we're gonna. This is something that can't be ignored. Do we want to watch the
update on the Warzone thing? They're still walking down the hallway.
So
saving the white race.
No, this
one loading screen at a time.
So, do we want to watch this video? It's probably going to be graphic, and I'm going to turn away if I do press play. So,
is it Harvey spurging the fuck out?
I don't. Mester has said in college chat, "I've sorted out a 4-man team out. This is wrong, man."
I don't know what the video entails, but the thumb shot shows like a needle going into Harvey's arm. So,
I want to watch that.
All right, let's press play on it.
You and Craig have said in college chat, some of us have bedtime. Start the game.
Sherry.
So
it's time to grow and learn. Says Mark Collett. Where are you using an Ethernet cable or Wi-Fi connection in order to play this free online game?
Katie Price's oldest son Harvey has been rushed to hospital in apparent reaction to the Ching Chong Chinkavine virus vaccine after receiving...
Oh, Pants Monster says, reject bedtime, return to Mark Collett Warzone tournament.
After receiving his first dose on Monday.
Banter.
Did his immune system go fuck off, you cunt?
That's it, pretty much. So he's had the AstraZeneca gene therapy. It's not a vaccine, it's gene therapy. He was shaking.
I've got one from Brutus's chat. Stephen J. James says, my gran says she's been sharing meth squad videos with all the women in her underground bingo club.
So Harvey, he's kissing on the... Oh, fuck's sake. Harvey, whose source close to the family says was shaking uncontrollably, had a concerning temperature of 39.9 degrees. That is a high fever.
Oh, yeah.
So,
like autism rage.
No, when you have a fever of 39.9 degrees, that's bad news. That's like...
I've just reminded Stephen J. James that Banter Nationalism on, and because Brutus has kindly left me a wrench, I've just dropped it in his chat. So,
I would just like to state publicly for the record, I when I found out about Harvey Price saying hello you cunt on Good Morning, that I thought was brilliant. And you know what, I actually admire Harvey because well done that man for coping with I think probably he understands that he's like his mum's career, and makes money out of it. So fair play.
That feeling when Harvey Price is more punk than the Sex Pistols ever were.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. You think about it.
But
Like,
this is the thing.
everyone thinks I'm just the pity factor from this television personality, and screw it. I'm just going to say what I want. Fair play.
Because the thing is, the more
the fucking croissants?
the more we find out about Harvey Price, the more respect I have for him. Like the fact that he was kicking off about. No, did you know about this, Capstan? He was. No, I think Hemi told me this, or Phil, that he was in a hospital and the nurses there weren't fit, so he was kicking off saying, I don't like them, they're not helping me. And then he got into a place with like really pretty nurses and he's like, oh, I like it here, man. Yeah, that's it.
He calmed the fuck down instantaneously, and I was like, I've naturally. He went to a place where ugly birds were, and he was spazzing the fuck out. Sees one fit bird, and he's calm as fuck.
Yeah, that's it.
Harvey or Brutus?
And so Harvey Price. So, Kate is like, wow, these nurses are really helping my son. And they got fantastic tits, but I'm sure it's got nothing to do with it.
We're talking 10 out of 10. I'm not even fucking with you. It's like perfect women all over the place. He even said, see you later, babe. He said, see you later, babe, when he left and kissed her on the cheek.
Do you think that scary movie thing, Officer Doofy,
shit,
like a retard until it was a fit woman come by?
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Is that recent? Is it? She's had all her hair cut off.
Well,
Fucking hell, she's starting to look old now, isn't she?
No, this is recent. I mean, it's. So let's read about the story, shall we? Katie Price's oldest son Harvey has been rushed to hospital with an apparent reaction to the chinky gene therapy, which they call a vaccine, after receiving his first dose on Friday.
Well, it did for Captain Tom. I don't know whether you know, but we said about Captain Tom dying.
Yeah.
Captain Tom had just had his fucking COVID shot, hasn't he?
I mean, did you hear that there was a nursing home, like 24 of them died after receiving the jab, and it's like, that's a bit concerning, isn't it? So the brave 18...
You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs, can you?
Yeah.
You shouldn't job him, you should give him a kidney punch. What you doing, right?
I mean, I suppose if they were just like, yeah, you've got to go to this the inoculation.
It's something like a T-Rex where you have to kind of stand still so he can't see. Is his sight based
don't look
on
in his eyes?
So, I suppose instead of needles, if they had machine guns, it would just be a bit too honest, and people were like, "But that will kill me."
Yeah.
So he received the.
I've got an urgent update from the Warzone tournament.
Yeah.
They're still walking down the corridor.
Oh,
it's
brilliant!
Still the loading screen.
Oh, this is exciting. This is going to save the white
Has
race.
his mum come back? Yeah, I mean his wife.
So.
I think he's just gone for some shreddies. I think.
Oh,
he said, Mum, I mean, wife, can I have some shreddies while I'm waiting for my internet connection?
Can I have next week's cereal?
There's some really base people in this Warzone tournament. There's somebody with a cannabis leaf walking
Whoa, he's edgy.
Have you seen this shirt that Harvey's wearing? He's got trolling with a line crossed through it, and underneath it, online trolls should be prosecuted.
What the fuck?
Oh, that's her new thing, isn't it? That's her new thing, isn't it? She wants. She Piers Morgan as well. He wants trolls to get a 10 grand fine, doesn't he?
There's been a lot of that going around.
But
For a meme.
And how do you define trolling?
Yeah.
Well,
it's whatever they think it is.
So
any criticism
Happy
whatsoever.
Dirty Feels.
Well, Count Dankula, when he did his thing, that I suppose that was considered a troll. It was a joke, and then they said, "Well, you'd done a hate speech," and then he went to court about it, and they fined him £800, and then they took £800 from his bank account. So. That's the thing. I think that's the going rate, and it's just like, well, it's not £10,000, isn't it? But so the brave 18-year-old received the Oxford AstraZeneca jab because of his high risk status, as revealed exclusively by the Sun. But is now.
Can he be brave if he can't assess the risk?
I mean, there's a difference between brave and foolhardy, is there? So, but is now.
But the thing is, though, he can't be given the pros and cons and weigh up the risks. Can he?
Well, one of the things that
so he's not. Therefore, he's not brave, is he?
I had surgery last year, and one of the things the doctors had to do is they had to tell me the risks of the surgery involved because they wanted informed consent. And I said, well, look, I understand the risks here, and I want you to go ahead with the procedure anyway, even though you've just told me these risks. And in the case of Harvey Price...
You read risks and sign up. sign the document, don't you?
Well, that's it. You sign the document to say that I have been informed and I'm giving my consent now. I've been informed, and I don't.
What did he do? Slap his fucking? Did he just paint his fucking hand with paint and just slap it on a piece of paper?
Well, I think
I think he's got a signature, has he?
I think in the case of Harvey, I mean, his mother has like guardianship of him, so he's informed consent is more just down to her. Like, hey, Kate, it's a good idea. Because your son, he's vulnerable. He's vulnerable, so he gets to the top of the line. He can get this jab before anyone else. This untested jab, and it's just like, do you know? I've actually got a feeling now. I'm forgive me for being a bit conspiratorial, but do you think like when they're giving like old folks and disabled spackers the jab first, do you think it's like we want these people to be like the guinea pigs, and if they die, well, that's okay because they're old.
There is a train of thought that there is the train of thought that these rich and famous people that are getting the jab, they're just getting saline jabs.
Yeah, what it is
So the plebs
essentially
will
is
follow.
the capitalist class are getting rid of the weak, as Brutus would as well.
Well, I mean,
the communists are just jabbing everyone.
Have you seen those?
All of you. Right, okay.
Have you seen those those photo shoots where people have said they've got the jab, but then there's a cap on the needle, or the's no needle?
Oh shit! There's another story. Did you see that story about that woman who was 4 months pregnant at the jab and then miscarried?
14 weeks pregnant, and then half a week later miscarriage. Yeah. Well, the fact.
She was a nurse as well or something, weren't she?
Well, the fact is, like, about 5 years ago.
Well, it's the dangers of educating midwits, isn't it?
But
that she thinks she's clever enough to work out whether she should have the jab or not.
Well, it's the dangers of I'm going to virtue signal, and now I've just killed my baby from. But hey, at least you got some. You got some likes on Twitter.
Is it not a form of natural selection? That I mean, if you're if you're carrying a baby and you think it's a good idea to have an injection.
Well, we're not. Yeah, we're not getting
another race.
We're not getting hunted by saber-toothed tigers anymore, so there's got to be something to, thin out the gene pool. But
the other thing is that my granddad's had it, and I don't want him to die.
Yeah.
My mum's had it, and she had bad symptoms for a few days. She had the flu and everything, like flu-like symptoms.
My granddad's had it, and he's been acting crazy, and apparently that's one of the symptoms. It just some. I mean, well, I mean,
like Shooting McGavin. Do you think Shooting McGavin had it?
I think Shooting McGavin had an infusion of whiskey. So now Harvey has been rushed to London's Great Ormond Street Hospital, leaving his mum worried to bits. Harvey.
Well, what my missus said is, why has he gone to Great Ormond Street? That's a children's hospital.
He'll fucking kill them all if he starts fucking spazzing the fuck out. He'll have loads of dead kids.
It'll be like that. It'll be like the Bigfoot in the Warner Brothers cartoons when he fucking hugs one of the kids and fucking crushes it.
Oh dear.
He'll Lenny them. We've got that Martin Man reference.
So, Harvey, whose sources close to fame say was shaking uncontrollably at a concerning temperature of 39.9 degrees. Yeah, that's a high fever. That's one which, if it doesn't come down, you can suffer brain damage. And okay, so
to be fair, he's probably. To be fair, he'll probably come out the other side of that one. That's not a problem for him.
So
probably help him out. Fucking hell. If he's brain damage, can't hurt anyone, can he?
He had hang on, how does this work? He had X-rays in hospital where doctors are said to have confirmed his illness was down to reaction to the gene therapy.
My missus said that. So she said, how do you do an X-ray to find out if someone's got a virus?
Yeah,
it's made of fucking metal. That's why. Fucking X-raying them.
Well,
how the fuck?
So okay, now here's the thing. The paranormies have covered this, but if you look up luciferase COVID vaccine, there's this.
I think one of our guys might be. Oh no, it got deleted. Someone said Laura is thick, and then I didn't read the rest of it.
So Now, luciferase is an enzyme which glows in the dark.
Oh, sorry, hold on, guys. I've got an update in the Warzone tournament. They're still walking down the hallway.
Great. So luciferase glows in the dark. It's
going well so far.
An enzyme that glows in the dark, and that's why it's called luciferase. And they were saying something like, I believe it was like every litre of the solution has 66.6 nanograms of luciferase added to it. Now, that should light up on an X-ray, but that's not enough. So yeah, I'm just drawing up straws here, thinking like, what is a vaccine doing? What is an X-ray doing to look at this gene therapy jab? The doctors at Greater Ormond Street Hospital.
Greater Ormond Street Hospital.
Yeah, okay. Know Harvey and are aware of his complex health needs.
It's a bit like Brutus, isn't it? It's a bit like Brutus with the acronyms that are never explained, like PUA.
Oh, but they did explain it earlier, so that's it. Yeah. So it's causticate...
Gents, just really quickly, I figured I'd better do the magnanimous thing. Just having a look at the chat. Spacer Tracy, you have our condolences about your late aunt. I hope it was quick.
Mate, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, yeah, you said caught chinky pox whilst in the hospital. No, you said fluid in the lung. That's pneumonia. So
yeah, but the virus causes the disease, though.
Yeah. It's not good. I mean, it's like flu leads to pneumonia. My uncle died of pneumonia from flu, and now Harvey only had the jab yesterday, and she's convinced it's some sort of allergic reaction. She can't think what else it would be. 1 in 10 people... Oh, and they even say here, 1 in 10 people experience side effects after having a jab, but it's safe. Well,
there's been all kinds of things from cerebral palsy to... Did you say...
Bell's palsy.
Bell's palsy.
Bell's palsy.
Yeah. The one where it causes...
Bell's palsy.
It looks like you've had a stroke.
Well, there's been a few people that have died, like Captain Tom. What other symptoms has anybody heard of?
But
fatigue, shivers, fever. There's a lot of bad
craziness. I'm not sure what you call it. Like not dementia.
I don't know about craziness. Brutus wrote that book about 2 years ago.
It causes fever, so a brain fever would make you go crazy.
But I mean, in the case of my granddad, he's not had a fever. He just sleeps a lot. But then, like yesterday, he was convinced he was going to go on the coach to Bristol. And it's like, yeah, but everything's locked down at the moment. You're not going anywhere. And then he had a fall, and then a neighbour saw him out and so escorted him back. He's all right. I think his ego's more bruised than his body. But the fact is, he's not steady on his feet, and he's just.
No, my nan had a big. She went out to the post office. She had a big fall, and then that led to dementia. So.
Oh, but
big falls can be quite bad.
He had the dementia. He had the dementia beforehand.
Oh, you already got. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
but my nan, she fell out going to the post office and then ended up with dementia. She was a lot worse.
But this is the thing, right? I mean, they're having to do this government bit here where they're saying that, but it is safe. But you've just proven that 1 in 10 people, it's not safe for them. They'll die. They'll have Bell's palsy, where it looks like they've had a stroke because one side of their face is now paralysed.
I can't listen to anybody. I can't listen to anybody like Heavy there talking about his nan, and it's actually a serious story without starting to laugh, because I think of Stephen J. James of cracking a joke.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's.
Well, I was going to say, what would happen if there was some new drug out on the market that had adverse reactions to 1 in 10 people? They'd pull it, wouldn't they?
Well, ecstasy killed Leah Betts, and it's saying like, this is horrible. We've got to ban it. It's so dangerous.
Yeah.
Leah Betts died because she drank 10 litres of water in the space of 2 hours, so she died from water drunkenness, which is, if you drink too much...
Oh, for fuck's sake, that is the biggest amount of autism I've heard.
Actually, it wasn't ecstasy that caused Leah Betts, it was over-drinking water. Ecstasy should be legal.
Which I completely agree with.
I'm sure you've read Professor Nutt's when he was working on the... What was it? There was a drug advisory committee for the government advising on
Professor Nutt. He was in the Carry On film, man.
Professor Nutt was actually.
Was he in the Carry On film or a porn film?
He was a professor of toxicology.
Hey guys! Wow! I'm Professor Nutt. Ooh yeah.
Go on, Hobbit. Are you about to mention?
So actually, I will do an actually now. Well, actually, ecstasy interferes with the hormones in the body. One of the hormones it interferes with is the functioning of the kidneys and the bladder. So you retain water. You can't pee whilst you're on it, or it's very difficult to urinate. So if you drink 10 litres of water, you're not going to be able to wee, and then you will die of water drunkenness when you don't have enough electrolytes in your body, and your heart stops and your lungs stop.
Spacey Tracy says, thanks, it's been a heavy weekend all round, so this stream is what I needed right now.
Well, I'm sure you appreciated the enlightening first hour about balsa wood and how communism results in no balsa wood.
Oh, hold on. We got movement. They're
Movement?
walking down the hall still on the Warzone.
This is... I'm almost
Is
tempted...
that a good thing or a bad thing if they're walking down the hall still?
I
haven't played Warzone.
I don't know, but to me it sounds like the loading's taking a long time. I'm thinking this...
The stream is 47 minutes long, and I don't think anyone's done anything.
Imagine if
like their movement, you know.
Imagine if they were saying that, you know, like for the most common ecstasy side effects are flu-like symptoms, tiredness, and a headache, and also more alarmingly, more severe side effects include dancing to house music. And I mean, that's probably the worst thing about ecstasy. It makes you dance to house music.
I know, fucking house music. Ugh.
Have you ever heard house music? It's whenever I listen to it, it's just like, I can understand what they're doing, but it's...
This is house.
Yeah.
There was a band, actually, Hemi, you might remember De La Soul. Do you remember De La Soul?
Yeah, I remember De La Soul.
Do you remember they did a song called Kicked Out the House, where they did a house music parody song?
I was never that much of a...
Oh,
If you're talking about house parties, you got to be talking about Kid and Play.
But no, that was the thing.
As if any of you lot are going to remember Kid and Play. But they did a series of films called House Party.
I did like the early rap where it was quite fun and funny, and they, you know, party music. It was just like, here's a bunch of coons and they want to have some fun, and they're talking about
do you remember that,
big butts.
Do you remember that when Jazzy Jeff, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking Will Smith and the other bloke.
Yeah, that's
it. They used to do like parody stuff. Like there was that one where they like parodied Nightmare on Elm Street. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Kid and Play right for Bill Maher, right, Hemi?
Oh, you joking?
Yep, that's his writers.
Fuck. Has he still got the big hair?
I don't think so. I just see him in the credits if you watch the show.
So I'd like to say, in the last 10 minutes of the show, get well soon, Harvey. I hope you pull through this. And also, how can The Sun be saying that this vaccine is safe when the entire article has just proven the dangers of it? I mean, I don't know about you, but I've had the chinky pox, and
that's because what happens now is people read the headline, they don't read the story.
Well, I mean,
and they rely on that fact. They rely on you not reading what is actually going on.
But
like you, was you or Top Cat that said the other day about it that the figures aren't people dying of COVID, they're people dying with COVID.
Yeah, deaths with, not deaths from.
Yeah, we're not laughing at you, we're laughing with you.
What are you laughing at?
No. Oh, well, I'm not laughing at Harvey. I'm laughing with Harvey, even if he's not laughing. I mean, the fact that he's put up with Katie Price all those years. I mean, 18 years of putting up with
Peter Andre.
And Peter Andre.
I'm surprised he didn't fucking kill Peter Andre. Fucking hell.
I'm surprised he didn't eat Peter Andre.
Get off my mum, you cunt. What are you doing? You're hurting her. Stop it.
Oh,
it's my turn.
Fucking hell. Peter, you're not very good at leapfrog, are you?
I mean, wife.
Oh dear.
Why?
Oh dear.
What? Stop bullying the retarded, for fuck's sake. It's just not nice.
I know, Cappy.
Are you talking about Peter Andre?
No, he's talking about me,
Price or
Hobbit.
Harvey Price.
No, he's talking about me, Hobbit, and I have to poke up with this panel. I was doing a serious show about renewable energy and how it's a scam, and we were doing all these things about on this stream with Bruce, he's doing something, and Mark Collett's doing a stream. Hey, Hobbit, did you know somebody else is streaming? Yeah, YouTube's a big thing. There's 6 billion people in the world. I'm pretty sure
Sky News is streaming.
Fuck Sky News. Is Russia Today streaming?
Sky News are trying to. What's the big conspiracy against Hobbit?
Do you know what? I haven't done this. I don't really want to do.
Hold on. We've got some action. Oh no, they're walking down the hallway still on the Warzone tournament.
I don't want to do. I don't want to do pink news. This.
They've been on the loading screen for nearly an hour now.
I don't want to. So instead, let's have something.
At the top in the middle, it says your squad, and then it says not assigned to squad in the middle.
Is this like the staring at paint drying competition? And we got updates. The paint's still drying, and
many stare at goats.
So, I mean, I don't want to read from Pink News today. Can we? Russia Today. There's hundreds.
The Metro's quite, or the Sun.
Oh, I don't like the Metro. No, the
Sun then.
Oh, okay.
Do the female. Do the female. There's a section in the Daily Mail called the female.
Oh, I suppose we could.
Female gays.
But is there I mean, there's stuff on Russia Today. I mean, it would be discriminatory. UK vaccine minister says government is not planning a COVID vaccine passport.
Oh God, Prince William's done it now. Prince William hails young people's shining lights and urges them to educate relatives about environmental damage during a video call with the UN's Young Champions of the Earth.
All right, well,
they've got to fucking William. Do you want to do this story?
No, Prince William, you're listening because I've just done a story about illegal balswood exploitation. Say hello to your grandfather, Prince Philip, for me. Tell him we want him on an episode of JDLE.
Based aristocracy yet again.
Yeah.
In the white race.
Yeah. Well, we like Prince Philip on this show.
Can always rely on the aristocracy.
Yeah,
we always got your back.
God. We like Prince Philip.
Influencer says she's greatly concerned by social media challenge which sees young people tying headphones around their waist to prove they are thin.
Right.
Shit. Danae Mercer, 33, who's based in Dubai, shared a video on her Instagram showing a woman wrapping earphones around her waist twice before tying them in the knot. Fuck me.
So, how long are her headphones?
Oh,
how fucking skinny for you boys. You know.
It is a news story. I think let's do this in the last 5 minutes.
Here's a question for you then. After this, playful dog who lost part of his front leg and back paw after being struck by a car in Romania will be flown to the UK flown to the UK to buy an animal charity to be fitted with a life-changing prosthetic limb. What do you think to people who adopt stray dogs from abroad? I think it's massive virtue signal. It's it's more virtue signaling, isn't it?
Because people can't afford babies, or they don't want babies. They just choose to have dogs instead, don't they? They treat them like babies.
Fur babies is the horrible term.
Yeah.
So here's a cheerful story. Here's a cheerful story. So I don't want to do animal abuse and things like that because it gets me upset.
Oh, come on.
No, I just wanted to talk about.
Hang on, guys. Can we actually talk about the wrapping the headphones thing? Because I've just found the article, and a woman saying this. There's a couple of things that I agree with, and others that I don't. This is her comment about that challenge. When I see 8-year-olds talking about their diets, 13-year-olds sharing their BMI, 16-year-old males, not boys, males, talking about choking and spitting, and little children wrapping iPhone cords around their waist to check their size, I have to talk. Now, with respect to this woman, surely 8-year-olds talking about their diets is a good thing because it's getting them accustomed to healthy eating and all that sort of stuff, right? 13-year-olds sharing their BMIs, to prove they're not fat fucks in school, right? 16-year-old males talking about choking and spitting, okay, so they shouldn't watch porn, right? Probably a good idea. And kids wrapping iPhone cords around their waists. Well, if mum did it with a tape measure, they wouldn't have to. Like I don't understand.
Yeah, but
how
it's
this
not
is
just that they want to be healthy, is it? It's they want to be to the level where it's an absurd level of fucking standards. You know what I mean?
All right, so
And
some
it's kind
people
of
are going to
bad.
take it a bit too far and become
Not
anorexic.
some people though, as it like if we look at the state of kids nowadays, you got girls who are fucking basically they're convinced they need to look like a fucking fully grown woman when they're like 11 and they dress
Yeah.
inappropriately. And
I don't
know
like
it.
I don't like that, and
I
I
don't
don't
believe
I
this
don't
fact
like
is
that.
just,
And
oh, we're all trying
you
to be
know what,
healthy.
Phil?
It's like, no, fuck off.
Phil, we got a few minutes left, and I want to finish on a happy story. I don't want to talk about the overt sexualization of children and animals being abused. Jamaica's marijuana shortage branded a cultural embarrassment. Hurricanes,
Kind of is,
drought, and Ching Chong 19 pandemic have all taken their toll on farmers and their crops. So many farmers could not tend to their crops during the Chinkikoff curfew. Bad weather and the drop in the number of farmers has led to a marijuana shortage in Jamaica. Cannabis fields were pummeled by heavy rain during last year's hurricane season, but were being scorched in the drought that followed, leading to tens of thousands of dollars in losses. It destroyed everything, man, said Dan Ayala Bosra, who grows marijuana in the southwest of Jamaica. Where's this from? This is from newsky.com. They keep calling it marijuana. Strict Ching Chong 19 measures made the situation worse, especially at a 6 p.m. curfew. That meant farmers could not tend to their fields at night as is routine. A lack of roads forces farmers to walk to their fields and then to get water from wells and springs. Many were unable to do those chores at nights due to curfew. It's a cultural embarrassment, said Tristan Thompson from Takayaya, a consulting and brokerage firm for the country's nascent legal cannabis industry. He added, "Last year was the worst year. We never had this amount of loss. It sounds so laughable that cannabis is shot in Jamaica." Jamaica, which has long been associated with rape, yardies, and murder, authorised the regulated medical marijuana industry and decriminalised the possession of small amounts of cannabis in 2015. Sorry, I'm just getting annoyed with noises. People caught with 2 ounces, which is 56 grams or less of cannabis, are supposed to pay a small fine and face no arrest or criminal. No, not mute. Server mute. That way you know I've muted you. Because if I just mute you, you don't know I've muted you. So people caught.
Knows everyone else.
The island also allows individuals to cultivate up to 5 plants, and Rastafarians are legally allowed.
On a similar note, how about this one? I was the party animal in the band. Fleetwood Mac's Mick Fleetwood, 73, admits he forgot 2 years of his life after cocaine use in the 70s got out of hand.
How old is he now? Because I mean,
73. It said it.
Really? That's that.
Yeah.
Because I heard like people like do loads of coke, they die in their 50s and 60s. So he's done all right if he's been using coke and he's in his 70s. So Rastafarians are legally allowed to smoke cannabis for sacramental purposes. I'm not referring it to that foreign name. It's cannabis. But enforcement is patchy as many tourists and locals continue to buy cannabis on the street, where it has grown more scarce and more expensive. Paul Burke, chief executive of Jamaica's Ganja Growers and Producers Association, said people are no longer afraid of being locked up now that the government allows possession of small amounts. He said the stigmatization of cannabis has diminished and more people are appreciating its claimed therapeutic and medicinal value during the pandemic. But the government's Cannabis Licensing Authority, which has authorised 29 cultivators and issued 73 licenses for transportation, retail, processing and other activities, said there is no shortage of cannabis in the regulated industry. Farmers and activists say weed sold via legal dispensaries known as herb houses is out of reach for many, given that it still costs 5 to 10 times more than cannabis on the street. And there you go. So that was our
have you heard about Marilyn Manson?
Oh yeah, Marilyn
he's
Manson.
anti-Semitic and racist.
Is he?
Yeah,
he's being Evan Rachel Wood, that bird out of Westworld. She's made a report about him beating her up or something, abusing her.
Yeah, but she was into that.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I found the anti-Semitic thing. On Friday, she posted fresh claims that Manson held anti-Semitic abuse at her, has 3 Nazi tattoos, and drew swastikas on a bedside table. I fucking love these. I fucking love these celebrity relations.
If only there was something about. Yeah.
What if only we
there
had
was
warning
something about
signs?
Manson that might have given away the fact that he was a proper weirdo degenerate who might have used women. Imagine if there had been a sign.
Yeah, so it's
Hollywood actor Wood, 33, shared a photo of the police report, and what she said was one of her pictures Usich was seeking, showing Wood in Manson's stage hat and an Adolf Hitler-style moustache drawn on her face.
Don't you mean the Charlie Chaplin moustache?
Yeah.
She shouldn't have gone out with him, did she?
Oh shit! The allegations varied, but include incidents involving physical violence, sleep deprivation, being plied with drugs, forced into blood pacts, and one woman having a gun to her head.
Jesus.
That's what they need.
Gita Von Teese that he was with
But
before
in
he escaped.
In Marilyn Manson's defense, he said, look, I like BDSM. I get into consensual relationships with these adults. We discuss safe and sane practices. And so everything which was done to them was discussed beforehand.
What are you gay? What are you gay?
Well,
based Marilyn Manson's on Discord. The actor said a conversation about the photos took place on the Discord channel, and she said shared screen grabs of a chat between two accounts on the app.
Ah, so in other words, he's one of those Discord moderators what grooms the children.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay,
I mean, what is going on with these celebrities? I mean, you got Marilyn Manson and all his crazy shit. You've got Amber Heard shitting in Johnny Depp's bed. I mean, what the fuck?
Can they just stop it?
It's almost as if
they just...
Do you think there's something about like the celebrity life, the fame, and all that, and the drug abuse, which leads to I don't know, a bit of unhappiness and mental instability?
I don't know, but they're just how supposed to stop it?
Oh, listen to this. I stayed in Brian's hotel room most of the night as I was not old enough to enter the casino after the concert. Multiple people were drawing on my face and the faces of others. Oh my.
Did they draw a willy on your face with like spunk marks going towards your lips? That's happened to me before. That's why you don't fall asleep in certain situations.
Oh, since then, at least 11 women have come forward accusing the rocker of physical and sexual abuse dating back several years.
Oh, loads of people have come out of the woodwork now. Loads of people.
Yeah. She claimed Manson, real name Brian Hugh Warner, would use the N-word, called her a Jew in a derogatory manner, and told it was better that her mother had converted to Judaism and did not have Jewish descent because it meant she wasn't blood Jewish. One posted photos of her two tattoos on Manson's arms and another on his chest, which he said are Nazi symbols, just days after another alleged victim claimed the 52 rocker once asked her to buy Nazi paraphernalia. Wood also denied that she and Manson were just having kinky sex when he tortured her, saying they never had a BDSM relationship, and she thought she was going to die.
Oh, I haven't done about abiotic fuel theory, but anyway, suffice to say, oil and coal, they aren't fossil fuels. Yes, peat and lignite are. However, it's formed from methane condensation. So thank you very much for listening to tomorrow's Banter Nationalism World. And
so the one thing I wanted you to talk about right at the start of the episode, we didn't get on, but we did discuss Balsa Wood, Phil spurged out, and then we followed Harvey's.
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, Harvey Price, get well soon, and maybe don't get the second dose if this is what happened with the first one. Maybe give it a miss.
To be honest, COVID would be the least of his bloody problems, wouldn't it?
They're giving out stickers.
How about this? I heard the N-word over and over, she wrote. Everyone around him was expected to laugh and join in. If you did not, or God forbid, called him out, you were singled out and abused more.
Good.
So okay, so it's okay if you don't. So it's okay to call someone out and abuse them for saying the N-word, but it's not all right to call out and abuse them for not saying the N-word.
Honestly,
it's just fucking the unbelievable shit.
She wanted to
you imagine you imagine being like a Hollywood party and throwing the N-word around it, and you'd have exactly the same treatment. It's just like they can't believe the You can't believe the bullshit, can you?
All right, it's time. It's time to say goodbyes. We've given everyone the 2 hours they want, and I fancy a sandwich. So, thank